That's
Oh,
not.
alright, that should be live. If that doesn't go live, I don't know what else will.
Like, if this doesn't work, fuck it.
I'm not seeing anything, B.
Alright, that's... Okay, so I've got Story Dissection Speed Racer. Is it the best or the greatest ever live? Which, that's not the name of this thing, but,
That's what I got a few minutes ago.
Okay, cool. That's what we're streaming under, even though that shouldn't be the name of it. I don't know why it's saying it is, but yeah, we'll just go with that for now.
We'll fix the title in post.
Yeah, exactly. Like I typed in everything differently, and it's just like you want to talk about Speed Racer tonight? You're like, no, I don't. It's like you want to talk about? No, I don't. All right. So, anyways, we are officially live. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group F, a Storm's Hymn, back after so long, so very, very long. With
The
us,
emptiness in my soul is now filled.
yeah, with us is a full party, and yeah, we're gonna dive into it. So let me move you guys to Loch Leo Coast because I have to do it like this now because I'm on the dinky laptop. And for everybody watching who will watch this, we're in a different location tonight. I'm not in a place where I am able to. I guess have my normal atmosphere of DMing, so we'll see how tonight goes, but hopefully looking for places all around the region. I'll be settled in before the next time we have to stream. That said, somebody wanted a recap of last session.
Jackal.
It was me.
Yeah. So, for starters, D&D, of course, is a role-playing game. Everything we're doing here is live storytelling. None of it is, pre-written. None of it's pre-recorded. It is basically improv with a rule book. And speaking of rule books, I should probably pull mine out. So, the group is a guild. You guys are the Silver Tree Guild, located in a lawless region of the world of Ilderon, called the Clutch. And we'll see if that button I pushed on my computer even does something. Nope, it didn't respond to it. Cool. And last session, you guys started off your journeys inside of the town of Beechwood Retreat. It is a major merchant. It's a major shipping town ran by merchant lords in this region. The merchant lords hold all of the sway inside of the city. But among the merchant lords, there are other factions of magic orders, pirates, bandits, gangs, military factions, mercenary factions, scholar factions, and everybody just coming together inside of Beechwood Retreat. It is a huge port city. Your story started right after the 18th of Father. I'm gonna have to get all of my notes out for you guys because those are still in my bag. But whatever, cool. I'll just go with what I have on my computer. Pretty sure it's the 19th of Father for you. Sorry about that. But you guys had just turned in... God, I'm the smartest person ever. I put all of my notes in my dice box because I was like, man, I'm going to need these and I'll lose them if I don't put them anyplace else. And here they go. Okay, there we go. Anyways, we started off right after you guys turned in a bounty on a wanted man by the name of Willis Calcador. You accidentally killed him, which cut your bounty in half, and they had to resurrect him. And so they subtracted the resurrection fee from your bounty. Everybody left before he awoke because you didn't want to deal with the aftermath. Willis had a skeleton key around his neck. That is one of the rare skeleton keys that you guys are currently in possession of, a similar one in the Master of Harmony, who is basically the mayor of Beechwood Retreat, is the only other person who you guys have seen with a necklace like this. From there, you guys slept the night, and Morgan and Nyoka had a basically heart-to-heart about the events that happened that led to Willis's death. Then the next morning, the party tried to make amends with Cuker.
I guess you could call it.
Yeah, it was the 20th that all of this was happening on, by the way. I just, fished out my notes. Anyways, you guys tried to make amends with Cuker. You guys paid her 475 gold. Basically saying, hey, sorry, we lost you that job. We can't, promise you the funds Willis had, but we can try and put steps towards it. Cuker, in turn, shared information with you guys. The lady who assaulted Willis, Iskara, who was the caster lobbing fireballs at you, was a plant by a faction called the Gaiori. The Gaiori are a order of knights devoted to Asatar Barina Gaius. They are also the ones who you saw inside of the Master of Magic's tower. Cuker told you guys that the Gaiori are slowly absorbing gangs and powerful gang leaders in the region and planning a coup against the Master of Magic. And that it is a very subtle thing in the criminal underground, and not to ask about it because it could potentially get her killed and you guys killed. From there, the party nodded and left to find XJ, who was gambling with pirates. You met a pirate by the name of, obviously Candelabra was there, but you met a pirate by the name of Jordan Alexander, who was a pirate hunter, or pirate-turned-pirate hunter, and he was holding, what's-her-face, Elmira hostage, in returns for trying to get back the necklace that she had stole from him. Elmira told him, what she did with the necklace, and he was waiting for the party. After some combative negotiations, the party eventually gave him back the necklace, and he set Elmira free. He had great respect for you guys and bought Morgan a drink and left. Elmira thanked the party. You guys shared with her everything that happened with Willis and Iskara. The name didn't ring a bell to her, but she was happy that Milani killed Willis, even albeit accidentally, and bought him a drink. There was some other vital piece of information she slipped on you guys, and then you guys told her that the docks were not the place to attack. And she was like, hey, thanks, I'm going to look so smart when I tell my crew this. And she headed off from there. From there, you guys went back to Lockleyo, and outside of your guild hall, people had been dropping bodies, and the Steel Cabal left a member there to tell you guys of just like, hey, can you guys tell the townspeople and tell your guildies to stop doing this? This isn't sanitary for anyone. You guys disposed of the, I think it was 7 bodies in front of your guild hall. Or four, because Mata got rid of 3 of them. And then Morgan and Geraldin left to go help whatever sick members they could, while XJ and Milani went to dispose of the bodies. Nyoka continued to work on the cart. Morgan and Geraldin healed 7 people. There were 9 remaining people who were still sick that they couldn't help. Those 9 people died on the night of the 20th. And then, it's funny because in my notes I have 9 people alive, and then the immediate next note I have is 9 with a slash through it. So those 9 people died, and then Nyoka decided to work through the night on his cart to finish repairing it. He's got, I think, 15 more gold to put into it, so it's going to take him a couple hours through the night. And Milani came back to the guild halls to see Geraldine covered in filth from helping heal the sick, and spent the remainder of his lay on hands to basically cleanse Geraldine of any lingering disease he might have incubating. Morgan read a political book, The Five Pillars, and I'm glad I just remembered that right at the end, because that isn't in my notes. That's in a separate thing I have to pull up on my phone, and that way if you ask about it, I'll have it open already. Anyways, she read a book that is discussing it's like projected ethics, speculative ethics, basically going over the effective and least effective governments in Ilderon and proposing a solution for the clutch. The book has, in the first two chapters, our first two parts, has discussed Asatar Barina Gaius as a overly ambitious, imperialistic leader that is too authoritarian for the good of the clutch, and then uses the examples of governments that Dila Winrona has set up through history, and that she is too libertarian and too hands-off and would be far too weak of a leader to maintain control of the clutch. That said, Morgan read ahead, and the other sections discussed in this book was discusses a leader by the name of Sunanthilogar, Lylilla Alarith. That is a title, and I sent all these to you on Discord. The Lost One, Olivia Del Kyle, Empress Elizabeth Del Kyle. And those are all of the people discussed. There's a bonus section at the end, an addendum, that What's-Her-Face has put in her own notes, because you got this one from Niles. She put in an addendum with her comments on Soyesa Alarai. You haven't read through those sections yet, but that's just, where you're at in the book. Anyways.
In this book about Soyesa?
Yeah, it's. I told you if you flip through the book, then you can see like each pillar that's discussed. Soyesa is not one of the 5 pillars.
Yeah, no, that's why that took me by surprise. I'm like hella excited to see what we have to say about Soyesa.
But anyways,
Only
it
good
is.
things, I'm sure.
It is the morning of the 21st of Priestess. I gotta do a weather check for this region. The rain's probably subsided. Yes, the rain has subsided from yesterday, and Nyoka is sleeping in to make up for, unless you want that level of exhaustion. Otherwise, Nyoka would be up at like 10 o'clock.
No, I'm gonna sleep in.
Alright, so the rest of the party is up and awake. Nyoka is still sleeping, but behind your guild hall in your courtyard leading to the water well, you guys have a completely repaired and functioning carriage.
Oh, cool.
It's just like, oh, that's cool, and just walks on by it.
One less thing for us to worry about.
Alright, but the whole party is together, minus Nyoka. What do you guys want to do today?
I want to do an inventory of what, supplies we have for the forge, and basically make a list of what we're going to need.
Let's do that. So, my computer is way too slow for me to pull up Google Drive, so somebody just go to your Drive folder, and I can keep tabs of this on a calculator. You guys, it is on page 150 of the Player's Handbook of Adventuring Gear. You guys have we'll do 65 gold of Adventuring Gear. Plus you have those, I think it was 38. I think you have 38 uses of oil left in your barrel. Or you use 38, so it would be the opposite.
No, or yes.
Yeah, you would be.
We had like 80. We had like a huge barrel of it, and we used.
Yeah, so let me look real quick at the barrel. 70 pounds, 2, because I remember I just mapped all of this out.
D&D Beyond, I can look up specific items if it's like all official.
you guys had you guys had 200. I think you had 238 uses left in it.
Okay, so we have plenty of oil.
Yeah, you have plenty of oil. Yeah. So I'll pull up my calculator, and you guys have 65 gold of adventuring gear. You can have. I'm assuming. Let's see. Obviously, you guys have inkwells for your ledgers. So you guys have 2 inkwells, of course, that you have already inventoried. So that's 20 gold down. I told you guys you had rations to finish out the week for your guild house. So you guys were gone for the last day, last 2 days. There are 5 of you, so there'd be 10 rations left. Rations are 5 silver, so that'd be 5 gold. So you have 40 gold left. Of course, you have a stack of parchment for your thing, or for your note taking. A stack of parchment would be 1 gold for 10 sheets. So down to 39 gold. Other than that, I don't think I told you guys you have anything else. So you have 39 gold you can spend on adventuring gear to put, inside of your guild hall. And I can keep track if you guys, if you have that page open. You guys can just say stuff and I'll add it, or I can make some suggestions. Shelby, you can feel free to contribute in this process too. Throwing out more suggestions at you guys. Manacles would be something that you have. Bounty hunting's an easy way to get money in this region. If you want those. Healer's kits are always nice to have just on the back end. Merchant scales for, determining the value of items and, accounting. And the same note abacuses. Abaci.
I like manacles.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 2 sets of manacles.
Why do we need manacles?
Bounty
You
hunting.
never know we're gonna have to keep somebody captive.
Additionally, it's really nice to have hempen rope. It's universally useful.
And I don't know about that, Bob, because the way we roll, we don't have to tie anybody up. We just
Kill them and let the
We're working on that.
yeah, let the people who paid for the bounty resurrect them.
We're gonna have a company meeting, a workshop, how to keep folks alive.
XJ's just like, can you send this to me as an email?
And we'll need rations. I'd say at least 2 weeks, maybe a whole month.
yeah. So we have a sign: accidental killings in 0 days.
Just like in the like accidental killing. Zero.
God, that'd be fantastic. As you guys can also invest in trade goods before you make any decisions. That's 35 gold that you're at. For Nyoka, let's see. Well, that's just interesting. It doesn't price lumber in the player's handbook. So we'll say a 3 foot plank of lumber is worth 2 silver pieces.
Okay.
Are you
That
writing this
idea-
down?
I'm not writing this down. I don't have. Well, I mean, I can write it down, but it's going to freeze my computer.
Great.
If you give me a second, I can take these notes, and I can also
No.
like.
That's fine, as long as Rob or myself or someone.
How many days of rations do we have? You said a week, or is it now like?
So yeah, you have 2 manacles, 10 things of rations. You have 10 sheets of parchment. You have 2 ink wells. I'm going to give you guys a ink pen for free. I'll give you
Sweet.
2 ink pens for free, of course, because it's pretty inconsequential. You have a barrel of oil with 238 uses left on it. And then we were deciding what to spend your last 35 gold on.
Can we get how much gold? How much gold is that worth? 5 silver. So what? Every two units of rations is a gold.
Yes.
Well, we could sell those swords we have.
We gotta repair them first.
I'm thinking at least you guys can, of course, have an opinion. I'm thinking an extra week or 2 of rations.
No, rations are worthless.
Okay, so people that aren't the robot, people who eat food.
Power down there, giant.
Stupid meat bags.
5 gold gets you guys another thing of another week of rations.
Yeah. Executive decision time. Another week of rations.
Okay, you guys have 30 gold left.
We should probably get some med kits. Just you have a chance me, you, or Geraldine can't heal.
Alright, healer's kit. I'll give you guys 1 because they have 10 uses. 1 healer's kit puts you guys at 25 gold left. A hammer and a sledgehammer together would be 3 gold. Plenty of uses, along with the crowbar, gives you advantage on checks to break things.
Well, with the sledgehammer, I don't think we need advantage because it's just break things.
We're pretty good at breaking things.
Do you think we need
It's one of the good-
whetstones?
What?
Whetstones would be nice.
Oh, whetstone. I thought you said redstone for some reason. It's like, when did we start playing Minecraft?
No. Right now. It's happening.
I'd say probably a sledgehammer and a hammer, some whetstones, and then maybe the rest and some basic metals for crafting purposes.
Okay, so hammer,
I mean,
1 hammer, 1 sledgehammer, 1 sledgehammer. Okay, and then whetstones, I'll put those off to the side. Just, to math them later since they're 1 copper. Let's see. So, metals. You don't have enough for gold. You don't have enough for platinum.
Don't have enough random.
Iron? Like, basic iron?
Let's see. You have enough for a pound of silver. You got plenty for iron.
just silver.
A pound of silver is 5 gold pieces.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea to start trying to do some silvered weapons.
I was about to say, if we can silver a weapon,
Alright, I'll give you guys 3 bars of 3 tiny handheld ingots of silver. That's 3 pounds of silver. Each one of those would probably be, like the length of your finger and probably like twice as thick.
How much
Now,
how
question:
much- how
XJ's
much-
finger or like Morgan's finger? Because there is a huge size difference there.
I have huge, gross hands.
I guess a better estimate would
My
probably
hands are dainty and girly.
probably
Say
be like
2 inches.
It's what helps with the
Inch and a half.
maintenance. You know, he gets in the nooks.
yeah. If you're using a computer right now or a cell phone, like half the width of a mouse or half the width of a cell phone, and
Well, that's also got to be weird. Like, what kind of cell phone are you rocking? I have.
Like, is it a Galaxy X6 or is it like an iPhone 3?
Alright. We're talking a about 5.5 inch bar of silver that is probably 2 inches thick.
Okay.
He's just done.
Fine.
I mean-
exact measurement.
Yeah. Alright. So you have 3 of those, and that leaves you with 10 gold.
Yeah. And how much is
And
iron?
Yeah.
Iron is 1 silver piece for a pound. So you could get 100 pounds, I think.
You want to just dump it all into iron?
We do not need
Actually-
100 pounds of iron.
Oh no, trust me, we're going to need 100 pounds of iron. Maybe more, actually.
We do not need 100 pounds of iron.
For what XJ is planning on doing, yes.
What are you planning on doing with 100 pounds of iron?
Upgrade!
Old child's worth of iron. Are you making a kid? Is that what you're doing? Are you making a
I weigh
baby?
400 pounds, you think?
Yeah, I'm talking about a baby warp. You know, the boba to your Jango.
I plan on making a new arm!
This is my son. His
I
name
can-
is.
I can meet you in the middle and say 50 pounds of iron.
Yeah, and I'll say that last 5 gold that you have, so you get 50 pounds of iron. That last 5 gold would go towards coal and wood
I
for
am also
keeping
going to
your
need copper
forges ran.
I'm also going to need copper wire and,
And
That sounds like personal expenses.
All right.
that's why I'm okay meeting you in the middle, okay? Because that 50 could go to making, goods that we could sell, not,
yeah,
other places.
sure.
So you could be a Blastoise.
All right. So here's what is left in your guild house after all of Nihilus' scandals. You guys have 2 pairs of manacles, 20 rations, 10 sheets of parchment, 2
Did you
inkwells.
scam us recently? I thought, like, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. These are all the remaining supplies inside your guild house. Everything else you guys have sold or foreclosed, mortgaged, or pawned. So 2 manacles, 20 rations, 10 sheets of parchment, 2 inkwells, 2 ink pens, 238 pieces uses of oil that you guys bought that recently. 1 healer's kit, 1 hammer, 1 sledgehammer. I actually didn't calculate your whetstones, so we'll just say 2 whetstones at an inconsequential price. 3 pounds of silver, 50 pounds of iron, and 50 pounds of forge fuel.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So yeah, you guys don't have to ask me anymore. Just like, do we have this? And just that's what you have. And of course, you guys have everything on your character sheet.
Wait, what do we have for the group?
Would you like me to read it again, or did somebody?
We have rations, manacles, parchment, inkwells, ink pen, poison, a healer's kit, 1 hammer, 1 sledge, 1 whetstone, 3 pounds of silver, 50 pounds of iron, and 50 pounds of fuel. And 1 exceedingly distressed guild leader.
Like the end of a song!
And one extremely distressed guild member, or guild leader.
And then
I-
Morgan.
I have a smell bag. Would that make you feel better? Aromatherapy.
It's just like you're looking a little blue. You want to get high?
It's like,
That's right.
you're looking a little, like, you're losing your mellow, bro.
I just looked at Morgan's character card, and one of her family members is on there. It's like, who's? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, remember the myth, the legend, Morgan's family.
The myth, the legend, maybe they never existed. Morgan's family.
right.
Perturbed guild leader. She doesn't actually exist.
She's just been a figment of our imaginations. We've been listening to no one.
Then who am I having a grudge match with? Am I like Rockley Elves group hallucination?
That is a good question. Did Morgan ever ask for what time her grudge matches was at?
Yeah, that's a good point. I never did.
It's like
I
ready
could
for
very well be late to my own grudge match.
like she comes in at like 6 p.m. and it was at like 7 in the morning.
Bitch, I've been waiting here all day!
No, I think at that point it's just like she loses because no show. She was too scared to fight me.
I mean, it's a thing
Show
for
must.
honor.
Like, I'm sorry, I was doing guild business. I'm sorry that you don't rank high enough to have to do things.
Oh,
Rude.
damage!
And that's how Morgan got her second grudge match.
I mean, they would have challenged her to a second after the first one. It'd just be like, oh, she didn't even bother showing up? Alright, we're done. There is no honor. There's no such thing.
I mean, if you want to be more like XJ. Like, honor is meaningless in battle. All that matters is the kill.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pick an honor duel. That's why I picked a no-holds-barred grudge match. The only thing missing is a cage.
And some, like, theme music.
Yeah. You know, kick in the door. Here I am. Dun 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 dun.
I was thinking more along the lines of John Cena! Da da da! Is he still relevant? I don't know. I don't keep up with wrestling.
John Cena's always going to be relevant. He's timeless, immortal.
It is
What time is it?
let's see, you guys went to bed at I think the latest person obviously was Nyoka, so 3 hours back from Nyoka at 7 a.m. You know, it's just after
there's
dawn.
no way that this fight is at 7 in the morning. Not actually sure about that.
It was actually at 6 in the morning.
So, like, we doing inventory, and it's just kind of like, I think I should go to the fight pits.
I feel like I need to do something. What was it again? Alright, I need to put a bitch in her place.
Anyways, alright. We have done inventory. Are we all good? Do we understand?
You guys did inventory. I did inventory.
I mean, does the robot know how to write?
Yes. Yes, the robot can write.
Cool.
So is the decision the fighting pits?
Yeah, I mean, if we've had this inventory thing taken care of, which feels like it wouldn't take very long, because logistically speaking, we should already have the inventory written down.
I mean, you feel that way, right?
Yeah,
You would think.
this is knowledge I've always had. For 7 sessions. Or for 9 sessions. 9 whole sessions. But yeah, we're at least gonna go spy on the fight pit, just to make sure somebody doesn't understand the concept of prime time.
Alright, well, it's good, it's good that you decided that. Because, well, actually I'll roll you a percentage die. There you go. On your way to the fight pit, you guys are going to encounter Inu and Mata heading to the south part of town, kind of like crossing paths with you. As you know, you're stumbling there, they are going to kind of like straighten up as it seems they were having a relaxed conversation. And Mata's going to look up at you and say, you didn't show.
Who has a fight that early in in the morning!
She says, the crack of dawn. The Steel Cabal has things to do during the day.
I, didn't realize.
I am so happy.
Guild
Inu is going to look up at her and say, well, we still need to make sure our purchase of the... Oh gosh, what is that? We're going to name that the Nope, we're not going to name that. We're going to name that the Windbarrow. She's going to say, we need to make sure our purchase of the Windbarrow is complete. If you can't escort our remaining members, send word back on to your faction. Mata is going to look at Morgan and then back at Inu and say, can we reschedule again, or do you just want to accept my victory?
God, do I really want it?
I would stab her right there.
I was about to say, like, that's some bold word for someone in stabbing range.
Right? I'm so conflicted because part of me is just at this point where I just want to put her in her goddamn place. You know?
Well, I mean, you already killed her once.
Well, I didn't try to kill her. I want to, like... That's the thing. Like, her honor was all just besmirched because she almost died at my hand. I wasn't even trying. I wanted to understand what trying looks like.
I want you to understand that, bitch, this is what it was.
Like, I could kill you on a whim. But on the other hand, I don't care. Like, this will help her. It's like, I don't know. Well, it's like, and the other thing too is I don't know if this will, like, affect my standing within the city, you know? Like, if
I mean, you'll be labeled as someone who kind of bitched out.
I mean, you can ask.
But we'll take you up on that offer.
Mm.
On the rescheduling, or... She gave you two options. Okay.
The reschedule.
It's like, do you want to accept the loss, or do you want to reschedule? Yes.
Let me answer properly. I would like to reschedule. I wouldn't want the fine people of Lockleal, the fine members of your guild, thinking that you're better than me. I almost killed you on a whim. I want to show them how I can do it on a will.
And she's gonna just kind of like look taken aback for a moment at the audacity, and then smile, put a hand forward, and say, "Tomorrow at dawn."
Like noon.
I have it. I know now. Dawn stated we're good. Yeah. So.
Like, now that we actually know.
I'll take her. You know, it's like, you know, accept the hand and be like, Dawn.
Oh no, you didn't.
She once again brings you in for that, fist on the back. Just like recognizing you as a fellow mercenary. Let's go, and then looks towards Inu and says, "Come on, let's go."
Is the leader there, the one that we're usually dealing with?
Rain? No.
Yeah.
No, you guys. So yeah, let's see if I can draw all this out for you. So you see this green area that's circled inside the center of the city?
Not the docks that are circled in green, cut off, and swirled around.
Yeah, hold on, I'll delete that because those don't exist
That was
anymore.
a while ago. Oh, right, that was the part that was plagued, wasn't it?
Yes, those dots are plagued. Anyways, let's go here and we'll use red. So, the fighting pits are in this courtyard, in this water courtyard behind those buildings. So, coming from your guys' guild hall and going here, you guys saw, and I'll do this path in pink because why not? Or actually, I'll do it in magenta. You guys saw Inu and Mata heading into that section of town. I never named it before, but I called it the Wind Barrow now. That's where where they sent all of these sick people to stay.
Yeah.
You guys know Mata has been on cleanup duty within the city. Until they get better. Out of character, you guys know all 9 of the remaining sick people died last night.
Yeah. I was just wondering if Reen was with them.
No, she is not. Otherwise, you guys can follow them, or you can, continue to the fighting pit, or you can go and get Nyoka.
Well, my early plans have been rescheduled, so we can do some other things.
Well, our options are...
We need to go back through the part of the city with the sick. Likely that there are more bodies.
Hey, we got a cart now, XJ.
Cool. Now what are we going to use it for?
Carrying bodies.
More bodies. All right. But I kind of wanted to work in the forge today. I wanted to get started on a project.
Well, I could probably handle the body situation by myself if need be.
Can you push that cart?
If you give me an hour, I can make sure something can.
Yeah, I mean, our plans have been for the most part stalled. I want to finish this business with Mata before we go handle that job for the Master of Magic.
That's fine. I kind of wanted to go into the fighting pit myself. Maybe earn some extra coin.
Anyways, we need to take care of any more sick or any more dead.
If you give me 10 minutes back at the guild hall, we can bring the cart up for any more dead.
Yeah, you can, take your time.
So that sick section of town that you guys are describing, you guys see Mata and Inu walking into it now.
Oh, well, then we're gonna go follow them.
It's like, this is purely coincidence.
Alright, so, they weave through the buildings, and, most of these buildings have been renovated as people have been, dying. A lot of this section of town becoming barren. After you get through the first alleyway, Mata takes and ties, a bandana around her mouth. Inu following a similar fashion. The stagnant smell of death, becomes very aware to you guys as you get within, 60 feet. The last remaining alleyway of the holdout of people. This isn't the last remaining. They were all kind of scattered out over this whole area. Mata goes to several different bodies, just poking them, inspecting them, and, seeing that each one of them are, dead before she moves on to before she moves to another. Inu is waiting as she's doing this. After, maybe 5 minutes or so dotting between these alleyways, you guys see her, starting to drag bodies. And Inu, just waiting next to you guys, is gonna, say, we're paying the steel cabal to clean out this place. Once the sick are disposed of, this is going to be our new headquarters.
How efficient.
Inu's gonna... You know what? I'm gonna roll her morality die. And she's gonna grimace and say, not really. Some of these people were my friends, but death is death. You can't stall on it for too long in the clutch. It happens to all of us. Eventually.
Yeah. It's a sad time. But there's death, there's life. We just have to make sure that we don't cling to one too much that it throws off the other.
I'm going to put a 10-minute mark, BT dubs, on by the time, Milani's back, carrying this carriage like a palanquin, hustling down the street.
Once we get back to the guild hall, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes to cast Fight Steed.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're gonna have 10 minutes regardless then, of even getting your steed on this thing and booking it down the road. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob. What Morgan was saying.
That was the end of the.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As this is going on, if after moving about 3 bodies, Mata is going to, point to the 3 she's moved to the center of the courtyard and say, these look like they had the worst of it. Their bodies will probably leave behind some faint form of taint. We'll move them up to the graveyard above the guild house, or above the town. Or rather, we'll throw these off the cliffside, and we'll move the rest to the graveyard above town. Just give me some time to get some of our manpower down here, and we'll make sure.
We've already dealt with those with taint.
These are new bodies she's talking about.
Yeah, but we'll just move all of them up there and burn all of them collectively.
Inu is going to look towards you and say, how much are you charging for that service?
Wait, we were getting paid for this?
We weren't.
No, the Cabal is.
It's like, no, that's the thing. That statement came out of the mouth, and all of a sudden, the 2 parts of Morgan's brain are clashing. Because it's like, fuck, we could get paid for this.
We could make this a power play, make it sound like we are more unanimous than her group.
Well, that's the thing is, if I say what we've been doing, which is charity work, free is definitely the winning proposition. But, I don't want to not get paid. But I also don't know what the Cabal's getting paid, so I don't...
Want to make any ridiculous commands quite yet?
What are you paying the Cabal?
She is gonna say 120 gold and a 10% reduction off any services we offer inside of town.
Just to dispose of the bodies, or?
Mata is going to continue and say, well, it hasn't exactly been the most pleasant. Hasn't exactly been the most pleasant endeavor coming into this part of town. The people here not only needed to be quarantined, but they needed to be contained.
I mean, I'm aware of the conditions, Mata. I've gotten sick twice doing this.
Mata is gonna shake her head and say, no, the members in the tavern that we had to send here, they started attacking people.
What?
And Mata's gonna say, it's, once again, contained, though.
But what do you mean?
She's gonna go on and say, we had 4 members kept inside of our dungeons inside of the Cabal's headquarters. The disease progressed rather quickly, and when they didn't die, they became quite ferocious. We just wanted to make sure. We've had rangers patrolling this side of town, but before anyone was sent in, we just wanted to make sure the situation didn't happen a second time.
Oh. This is like player knowledge, but I know what happened.
I mean, if I had to guess, they're zombie. But yeah, I'm like, all of that's laid out, but I feel like I'm just missing something.
Well, I mean, you guys haven't been dealing much with Lockleel's plague other than curing it.
We just cleaned up the corpses.
In your guys' defense, you didn't let very many people at all get to, the final stages.
That's fair.
It was, saves against death or the continuation of the disease, and people, everybody ended up dying by the end of the week, so that's just good.
Are any of these feral people still alive?
Mata is going to shake her. She's going to shake her head and say, no, but one did get back up after we killed them. That's why I was watching the bodies being dumped in front of your guild hall.
See, this is why we burned them.
She says, second sword through the heart did it quite well. It didn't move after that.
I'd personally rather see them destroyed.
She nods and says, I understand. Regardless, though, for the most part, it seems safe. I'm going to go get my members. If you decide on anything else contractually, please send word ahead to the Cabal's quarters at the top of the hill. She looks at Morgan, then, XJ, and nods.
Wait, XJ's there? I thought XJ was at the guild.
Oh, did you go with Milani?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I thought you went with them to the fighting pits, and then Milani was the only one who went back. Okay, cool. You're at the guild house with Milani then. She looks at Morgan, nods, and then she is going to head off to the north part of town. By this time, back at the guild house, Milani's fine steed would be completing.
Can I get a camel?
You want a camel? Yes, you can get a camel. Regionally, camels would be just south of here.
I just think as an Earth Genasi, that would probably be like more.
Dude, camels are great. They store a lot of fat in their humps. They're halal. Solid stuff.
Yes, you can hook this cart up to the camel and have it. Or do you head towards the Windburrow?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's XJ doing back at the guild house?
XJ is mostly just cleaning up the forge at the moment and probably going to start working on some projects. I don't know if I want to start my arm yet, or if I want to start like on some of the swords that we have in storage.
Okay. Alright, so, Milani heading towards the south. Who is this? Okay, that's fine. I just have a note for somebody named Lilikin, in this town, and I'm just like, why? I don't remember that, but cool. Anyways, XJ can head, or rather, Milani can head to the Wind Barrel, and, yeah, by the time you get there, you're going to beat the Steel Cabal there, and of course, the scene I described before, the center courtyard here, where these different buildings would be gathering at a well for common collective water. There are 3 bodies that look horribly, bubbled, boiled, and like types of measles growing on them, just diseased and deceased, are in the center of this courtyard, and standing over them and talking. Inu with a bandana over her mouth, and Morgan, standing near the well.
Look, I don't know exactly all you're paying the Cabal to do. If it's just corpse removal, we'll do it for half. Because I don't trust them to dispose of them properly.
And she's, she wouldn't care about a contract. That's not her part of the job. So she's just gonna say, oh, great, half? That's wonderful. And she's gonna gesture to the area and say, clean up the remnants of them, and you'll have your money. And she's just going to, gesture down to the bodies and say, it's my job to just be on the front lines and ensure it gets done.
Money?
Is Milani there now?
Yes, Milani's there, trotting with a camel and a carriage.
Did you hear the woman, Milani? We get the corpses, we get paid.
Sweet.
Our philanthropism is finally turning into financialism.
Financialism, is that a word?
Not, but just feels
Is now.
financialism. That's your word of the week from Group F.
Your made-up word from Group F.
I'm guessing I'm gonna be the one.
All words are made up.
Technically, this is true.
I'll be the one loading them into.
Well, yeah, I hate to be a pain about it, but I'm not very strong, and I'm not immune to disease.
Yeah, Inu is going to grab a body, by the shoulders and say, come on, the sooner we get this done, the sooner I can get out of here.
You heard the woman.
When he starts picking up bodies.
Alright, she assists you.
Do you feel assisted yet?
On a scale from 1 to 10, please tell me what your pain is.
I'm just picturing now the end scene of Group D when Father Anderson and Johan were carrying Celebrus's body, because she's a dwarf, isn't she?
She is. It's as much assistance as she can get, but you guys know she's no stranger to grit.
That actually works out to your benefit because she's going to be carrying all the damn weight.
Yeah, Inu is the same woman who fought in the fighting pits with you guys.
Yeah.
But, regardless, sweating in the morning sun, she helps you load 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, takes a break on the 5th. Assuming you probably load the 6th and 7th without her, she's, back to help you on the 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
And yeah, and she's just gonna say, "Whew, well done. All right, get these." Say it again.
Milani's gonna pump. Milani's gonna pump 10 points of lay on hands in her.
You assumed that she had to make medicine checks for handling those bodies. And then you assumed she had to make constitution saves for being inflicted with disease.
Oh yeah, it's a good assumption. I've already healed her once.
Well, both of your assumptions were correct, and she failed both of those, so she is, just incubation periods exist, and she's just gonna be like, okay, thank you. Regardless, though, I guess I can bill the white cloaks for your labor, but here, she's gonna pay you guys 60 gold out of her pocket, and say that should cover what we agreed upon.
Yep. Thank you, Inu.
And she's gonna shrug and head off, and it's like, no problem, thank you. And
Inu,
she looks back at you.
if you see that insufferable Mata again, let her know that she should probably see a healer, because she's going to get sick.
She's gonna nod and say, okay, but I only ran into her because I was looking to catch the opening fights this morning. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time. She waves, still, even with her hand completely raised, you guys are looking down on her from a distance, and heads towards the inn that the white cloaks are stationed out of now. God, there's like 7 of them left.
We should propose a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or, middle of the night, kind of gang war style, we just take out the remainder.
Hostile takeover.
Hostile take. Basically, it's now we're the only guild. You have no other choice.
Yeah, you could have executed one of them right there.
I like Inu. We're keeping her.
Just take one of the dead bodies and just, start mixing it in their food.
Kill you, we'll hire you, kill you.
So, Milani has a wagon full of corpses.
Cart full of corpses. Cart full of corpses.
Brandon, is there any, loose, broken wood around?
Yeah, this whole area was basically a rat's nest for the homeless and sick. So all the things they had are still here, as far as, their blankets, their sleeping areas, bits of cloth and burlap tied between buildings to, form makeshift shelters. Sticks and stuff that hold those up, or, planks that hold them up.
Milani's gonna grab a blanket or two and then some wooden planks so we can start the fire.
Okay.
You got the touch!
Do we have that big oil drum? We need that big oil drum.
I don't think with 9 bodies the cart will be able to pull that and the oil drum.
We can make 2 trips.
the cart can hold a lot.
The cart can hold a lot. The problem just we ran into is it can hold a lot, but that's because it's we can't hold all of us. Well, it can hold 4 people. It just can't hold 3 people and a robot that weighs 500 pounds.
Yeah, this isn't a cart. This is a full carriage, by the way, like a Wagoneer's carriage. Let me look, because the statistics of it are in the player's handbook. So, mounts and vehicles. It's on page 157. Carriage. It weighs 600 pounds. And, let's see, how much can it hold?
I mean, to be fair, we weren't being nice when we put the bodies in there, so...
I mean, it was... it was efficient. It was...
Let's see, it doesn't say how much it can hold, but I'm gonna, roll its, same as the animals, it can hold at least 5 times its weight. So, 5 times 600 is 2,400 pounds.
5 times 600 is 3,000.
Oh yeah, I'm amazing at math, so... yeah, I'm gonna say it can at least hold 3,000 pounds.
Which,
hey, extra,
unless...
XJ could actually carry, like, XJ could pick that up and haul it over his shoulder.
But,
Right, Brandon?
Say it again?
Nothing. I'm joking.
Oh.
but yeah, and I mean, like, 9 bodies, that's, we've still got... Look, I don't know how to math. I mean, I know how to math, but...
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking at the upper echelon, we're still under 2k pounds. And that's if they're, like, full-blown, meaty, healthy dudes. These are emancipated, partially...
These are, like, basically already corpses.
These are, like, already basically skeletons. So...
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Yeah, they are already corpses. Yeah, skeletons.
Morgan, you gotta remember, it's not the cart that's always the issue. I got 1 animal.
Yeah. So the camel can pull 5 times 480, and I don't have Alexa here to do that math, so I gotta pull up a calculator.
I mean, like, that should easily be able to pull it, though.
That's 2,400.
Yeah, with the cart, which is 600, say the bodies all together, 150 pounds.
Each? Yeah, I mean, that's, 1,350, so that's like the upper echelon.
Plus Milani on it itself.
Yeah, so, I mean, this camel would be straining if you guys put Morgan on it, but it would be able to do it. You'd be touching you'd be about 400 pounds, under its upper limits. Or, maybe 300 pounds under its upper limits.
No, you're swinging it by the guild hall, I guess, like, you can call XJ out.
XJ's just like, let's go, camel.
No, XJ's is like, give me that, I'll show you how you do it.
By the way, Brandon, the camel can speak to me.
Well, what the hell does the camel have to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, did you know that I store fat in here, not water?
Yeah,
Isn't the camel like isn't it like actually a spirit that's just taking the form of a camel, or?
Yeah, it's like a celestial creature taking like the form of a camel.
No, I mean, I played Paladins before, so actually it's a very smart camel. It's like way smarter than an actual camel.
It's like, how's it going, camel? Pretty good.
It's taking time to get adjusted to the physical plane. There you go.
You watch Game of Thrones?
Have you seen the latest episode of Game of Thrones? Pretty sweet.
Alright, where are you guys taking these bodies?
Jon Snow, sexy as ever.
Yeah, probably wherever they took the last ones. I wasn't there. I was doing Morgan things.
You saw the fire.
Say that one more time, Anthony. I didn't hear you.
Oh no, the lion is just going to Morgan. You coming with? Are you heading back to the guild hall?
I mean, I can, join you for this, at least see it get carried through,
Oh, what, you don't trust me?
It's not that I don't trust you, it's just, I don't know.
It's fine. I was kidding.
I don't know. XJ's distracted. XJ is, like, building himself some new toys.
I mean, besides, if I didn't go do this, you know what I'd go do? I'd go read that stupid book, or go, terrorize the townfolk. Do you want me to terrorize the townfolk, Milani?
I mean,
that would probably put a smile on your face, at least.
I do enjoy terrorizing the town.
Come on, before they run us out of town as a pariah.
What are you talking about? I'm going to be some kind of conquering hero tomorrow. We've helped dispose of all these bodies, cured the sick, and I'm going to kick Mata's ass.
And then we move on to preparations to taking over the Heal House.
To be fair, I could probably go do that while you're burning these bodies.
Yeah, but don't you want me there since, you know...
Right, ladies and gentlemen, he can do it all. Or she,
That's-
I'm sorry, your character's a female.
Don't you want me there considering the one who runs it is an old war buddy of mine?
That's fair. How long is it going to take to burn these bodies anyway?
Without the oil, it'll probably take a little longer. I'd say a couple hours.
I mean, again, we have plenty of oil to spare.
Yeah, I was about to say, and don't we have to pass our guild house to get to this place?
Yes, you do.
I mean, if we can't put it on the wagon, we can drag XJ. We can make XJ carry it.
I would say wrong choice of words.
Fair
That
enough.
camel's definitely not going to be able to do the bodies and XJ.
If anything, we don't really need all of it. If we can just get some in a bucket or something.
Well, look, if it's going to take a couple hours anyway, you know, I trust you, and if we need to involve him, I trust XJ. You guys can handle it, and, you know. I can do some of the accounting, make sure you guys get paid. Read that infernal book.
If that's what you want to do. I don't know if you seem like you're getting stir crazy being stuck in the guild hall again.
I mean, she'll have XJ to keep her company in the forge if you don't want him to come along.
We're not getting stir crazy.
How long has it been?
As soon as they decide what they're doing, because you know the whole time you guys have been up, you guys have probably gone through like an hour and a half of like daytime. Nyoka would be waking up soon. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you can decide by the time we get back to the guild hall.
Yeah, if Milani's taking these bodies and heading up the cliffside, and Morgan, I believe, is reading her book, and then XJ's working on the forge.
You cut out. Hello?
We need to figure out exactly how, because I believe we were going to get Milani some oil.
Oh, okay.
Well, realistically, I can carry the drum of oil. What did it the other night?
You guys can also divvy up the oil into flasks.
We don't have flasks. It's not my inventory.
You do not have flasks. You do have, I think one person has a wineskin. Or a ripped wineskin, which would be, your best bet. But, anyways, yeah, going back to the guild house, you guys would be, you guys would be getting here, still at the top, or at the tail end of Nyoka's rest.
Alright, well then, I'm gonna leave XJ to work on his personal stuff. I'm just gonna tell the camel, follow me, since it can understand me. It speaks Primordial.
It speaks whatever language you know.
One language I know, and I'm choosing Primordial. So
Okay.
that's a Celestial knowing Primordial. And I can carry the drum or the barrel of oil since I did it the night before anyway.
All right. So that's hitting at like the 9:30 mark. So when you head off, at 10 o'clock is when Nyoka joins the party.
Yeah, so I'll walk beside the carriage and the camel up the hill. So it takes my weight off of the strain and not worry about the oil being a factor.
All right. So Nyoka is up and awake. Is Morgan reading the book?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, since you're going to be speed reading. You might not cover a whole section. So this check is actually going to be dependent upon if you get any information.
Morgan.
Otherwise, Nyoka joins the party along with X-Ray's already there. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna sit down to get into this book, get a few pages in, and try and start powering through it, and then just like, you know what? This is pretty dicey, complicated language. Let me go back and take my time. By that time, party's up and moving, and Guildhouse is running around.
Damn guild distracted my book learning. Whew.
So what do you guys want to do now?
So, where are we at? Is we still burning bodies, or is this fast forward to when all that's finished?
Melania's up on the hill, burning bodies. I'm gonna get back to Melani. I would just want to, see what the guild's up doing.
I would be in the forge.
If you guys like, we can fast forward past the body burnings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. Because I don't know if anything's gonna happen during it, besides somber staring at...
Is gonna work on the second cart.
Is there a second cart? You guys only brought back one cart to your guild house.
No, there was two.
I timed you guys for that first one for just getting one cart there, because that 6 hours of pushing was with no wheels on the cart, and the three people, Gerildan, XJ, and Melani pushing it, and then Nyoka went off to steal the door.
Okay, so then the Nyoka works on the swords and stuff. Okay,
the hilts. Same thing with the crafting rules. 8 hours, you can put 25 gold towards crafting. Otherwise, we are going to skip by the body burnings, going up the hill, and going to the pit where you guys burned those bodies before, and just tossing the bodies in, throwing oil on it. You are able to set the bodies ablaze.
You put them in the hole, right? You're not just doing that on top.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's throwing them into the pit you guys dug yesterday.
Yeah, it's the same pit.
Okay. So, just base things off of your passive perception that you're going to notice. You guys, even though you did this yesterday night and were the last ones here, as far as, into the nightfall, and then about 9 o'clock you guys headed back to your guild house. Between that time and this time, you were not the last people here, as there are two different grave sites that you guys dug bodies out of that are recovered and buried. Somebody has buried dead up here since you guys have been here.
Well,
That said,
Fix that problem.
that said, it's not terribly important, but you guys do know the Mata told you this is becoming a communal graveyard.
Right.
I'm just gonna try to uncover some of the body and make sure they're not infected. If they are, they're going in the hole.
Okay. Roll me a.
If it does not behave, it goes into the hole. It
Um.
puts the lotion on when it's told, or else it gets the hose.
So there are two of these near the area where the fence is being built around this graveyard to kind of mark it off as somewhat sacred space. Roll me. I'm going to say you're going to the nearest one to you. That would probably be the southern, most closest one to the pit and to the town. Roll me a medicine check on this body. Would be helpful if I had my roll thing open. 21. Alright, so digging here until the body's uncovered and just examining what you're able to of this body. This body was you don't notice any form of sicknesses on it. As far as blotted skin or anything like that, it is definitely pale, because of it's been dead. You are going to notice just across the face a little bit, the signs of wounds and bruises, as this person was probably killed.
Oh snap! Can I determine what kind of how they were killed? Was it stabbing, lobotomy, crushed skull?
No, not with just slightly uncovering the body and doing enough of a medicine check to lift its head out of the dirt a little bit and inspect it. You'd have to inspect its entire body.
Interesting. Alright. I'll cover them back up.
Okay, that was only one. Two, by the way.
Yep. So I'll do again for the other one.
Okay, go ahead and give me a medicine check on the other one. And I mean, you don't have to do well on this at all. On covering this one, it is exactly like the three bodies that you exactly like. Yeah, this body is horrendously. This was probably somebody wandering around town, not in the sick side, but definitely got to the final stage of this disease before they croaked.
Alright, yeah, that motherfucker is going in the hole.
Alright. You are able to just pull him out and put him in.
Yeah, I'm gonna just, because I can see if there's anything on him worth taking.
No, this person, his clothes aren't worth anything, as definitely appears, they're shredded and tattered. It's got a stab wound in it. It's, I guess any gold he had would have been looted off by, whoever brought him up here. No necklace or insignia or anything like that.
Alright, in the hole.
We're just gonna cover up this guy's murder, alright.
And the one who was in good condition, while the bodies are burning, I'm going to do a funeral rite on him.
Okay. The 10-minute ceremony?
It's an hour long.
Hour long? Okay. And then you head back to the guild house?
Well, I'm sure the bodies are all, burnt up into nice, not deadly, spreading monsters, and I put out the fire afterwards, yeah.
Okay, and that funeral rite, that is, and I believe all you have to do is touch him. I don't think you have to prepare the body in any specific way.
Choose one of the following rites. The target must be within 10 feet of you. I don't even have to touch it.
Okay.
Throughout the campaign. Funeral rite. Oh no, I do have to touch one corpse. For the next 7 days, the target cannot become undead by any means short of a wish spell.
Oh, okay. Do you have the 25 gold worth of powdered silver?
Oof, I do not. 25 gold.
Yeah, I'll
Back
say...
to the guild. XJ, I need some silver, but I'm using it.
I'll say you can eschew the materials of, crushing gemstones and the silver shavings of the 3 pounds of silver that you guys have. If you crush 10 gold worth of gemstones and, shave the silver, you could have the materials for that.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to the guild hall for all that, because I have 8 gold on me, and that's about it.
Ceremony is a nice spell, but it is, expensive to cast.
Is it, because I don't have it on my sheet, I gotta check something.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's material components for it.
No, I knew that. I figured there was.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
If he's doing math. Just like I'm starting, I'm just going to start on the arm. I know it's going to take a while to actually complete.
Yeah, we're using the crafting rules from the player's handbook modified. So it's.
You want me to start making skill checks, or?
You make the skill check at the end of it if it's a high intensity crafting type of thing.
Metalworks thing.
Yeah, but for now, you're fine. I don't know if you are going to get 8 hours worth of work in, because I don't know what you guys are going to do once Milani returns. But fast forwarding back past that, 2.5 hours pass. Just pouring oil over these bodies, making sure they burn to a crisp, then smothering out the fires with dirt. This last body, kind of uncovering it, but not really being able to do much with it. Do you want to load it onto the cart and bring it back to the guild house?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
Well, I'm taking it out. I'm going to do an inspection on it, see if there's any, visible wounds or anything.
Okay. Roll me that as a medicine or an investigation check. It is your choice.
If I have the choice, it's medicine.
Alright. It's hard to tell on this body what's wounds, what's bruises, and what's dirt, digging it out of the ground. You didn't, you got nothing on it. But that said, you can try again, in an hour, or you can have one of your guildmates look at it. But otherwise, Milani shows back up, pulling into the back of the guild house.
At this point, we are corpse takers.
Yeah. And he has the wagon smells slightly less of death.
That's a fresh body, so it probably don't stink that bad.
Yeah.
When Milani's gonna, jump down, dishook it from the camel, but then he's gonna call into Morgan. Hey, Morgan!
Yeah.
Come out here, I found something while I was up there.
To be with me. You don't find things you bring back to the guild in a graveyard.
It's not a graveyard yet, Mom.
I think this is something.
No,
you're
it's more
gonna...
of a burning pit.
XJ, you're gonna want to come out for this too, probably.
Can it wait?
I guess.
Like, still working in the forge, like, I'm in the middle, I mean, I guess I can come out, but, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important?
You know how we dug up all those bodies yesterday?
Yes.
Well, I just dug up 2 of the graves we already dug up with more bodies in them.
XJ's gonna come out and take a look.
Alright, so, in front of you is,
Naoka, real nice job on the cart. On the carriage.
Oh, thank you.
everybody can see this body in the back of the carriage. It has different wounds across it, and bruises and dirt. It is pale, because it's dead. However, for the most part, the body is intact. To discern any medical information from it, about how it died or anything, would be a medicine check. But you guys can tell this guy was definitely assaulted.
I'm gonna help Morgan with it. That's what I was trying to say.
Here, I'm looking for.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it with advantage. So just and if XJ wants to roll anything, you can right now, and I'm going to tell you guys all together what you get. But Milani, feeling this out, taking a second, look at it, explaining what's going on. The DC you guys are going to be able to discern is at 15.
I mean, XJ sees it, but Milani probably sees it better.
Morgan was the one that rolled it with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, looking over this body, you can see it has a lot of blunt trauma to it on the head. Probably fists, scratches from claws, and bite marks all across the body. Probably, some sort of humanoid attacked this with all-out vigor. Whoever killed this person.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gathering that it got viciously mauled by a person?
Enough that this person... Yes, you do gather that, but not in a sense that, this person was, torn to shreds. This guy was well alive when he was fighting back. It is the signs of an assault, but, enough so that you can probably assume this person was defending themselves. Of, their flesh isn't ripped off of their skin. There are areas where he was bit, and whoever was attacking him, he probably was like, hey, stop that!
Okay.
If anything, the trauma more so killed him.
2 of the graves that we had dug up for the bodies were freshly reburied with 2 different bodies. One looking like the 3 really bad ones that were in the center of town when I showed up with the car or the carriage. And then this one.
Hole's empty, you fill hole with corpse. It's a communal graveyard. That being said, somebody beat this man to death.
What's
which is
weird
concerning.
Yes. The other concerning thing is you can see the bite marks.
Can actually use his war experience to tell, there was any, specific...
Can I use identify?
I am losing my train of thought.
Use identify on the corpse? I don't believe so.
Well, you can identify if someone's affected with something.
Yeah. I think Identify has the text for object in it. I mean,
well, it's like,
I'll say go for
did we
it.
already determine if like there was a weapon used, or if this was more of a?
Well, the other thing too is we already kind of honed through it, and you basically just get the life story of it. So, I mean, you get the life story of a person, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, go for
Well,
it.
I mean, I don't give a fuck who this guy was. I just kind of want to know.
That's what he's saying. She can, with Identify, the way it works in this world is you see the life story of whatever you're identifying, and you can basically she's going to try to, or we're trying to see if we can see the last moments of their life.
The text says, if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are affecting it.
Yeah, I was just going over, that and looking at one other thing. Yeah, I mean, you can cast Identify on it. An Arcana check would give you, a partial amount of the information Identify would give you.
Yeah, you know what? I'll burn the slot and do it.
Okay. Let me. I'm looking at one more thing real quick. Okay, yeah, so, touching this, identifying, the spell is going to be used, but you don't sense any magic or any life left inside of this body. The Identify, fails to go off.
Well, it's good to know for future use, at least.
Morgan.
Yeah?
Wasn't, what's-her-face from the White Cloaks saying some of the bodies were coming back after they were killed?
Shit.
Melanie there for that statement? Anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah. They weren't quite going down,
Well, if we're dealing with undead, it's possible for the disease to be spread. And there are bite and claw marks. Maybe our best option.
The feral nature that Mata described some of the patients, victims having. It would line up. One of them in the later stages attacked somebody. But there's something that concerns me more about this, if that's the case. One, it's concerning that there could be, rabid, diseased people lurking somewhere on the outskirts of town. But think about it. Unless the disease is giving them bouts of violent madness, they'd be basically feral creatures? Driven.
Wouldn't we have heard about it then?
And that's what I'm getting at. We're talking
I wonder if it's like the disease itself, where it's got a incubation period. It's not immediate.
Well, yeah. From the sounds of it, this feralness is the end stage, or a late stage. We haven't, they've either died or we've been getting it fairly quickly. But what I'm getting at is this. Let's assume that when they hit this point, they're no different than an animal, right?
Okay.
They're angry. They're angry, they lash out, all that stuff. That means that they're not capable of burying a body.
No, so someone else buried the lowest people.
So best case scenario, somebody's just burying dead that they find and just missed whatever caused it. Or somebody's hiding this.
There are intelligent undead.
Steel Cabal would definitely be the top contender for hiding it.
Well, to XJ's point, there are, intelligent undead. The thing that had the key we sold to the Master of Harmony likely counted. But my point is, from the sounds of it, these aren't intelligent undead. So, to then essentially cover up one of its murders would involve a smarter third party. So,
that's something we're gonna have to look at.
Milani, intelligence check, DC 13.
Balls.
Nailed it.
The minus.
You remember you saw a second body up there that was horrifically plagued. It had a sword wound in the chest.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You remember you saw a second body up there that was horrifically plagued. It had a sword wound in the chest.
The second body that was up there that looked like the three in the middle of the town, or in the square there, had a sword wound through its chest.
Is it possible that, in essence, we've seen both parts of this conversation then? This is the victim of that body's attack, and was either killed in the attack or killed by a third party. And then both were taken care of after it was over.
Probably yes on that.
Because judging by what Mata said, those horrendous, plague-ridden ones are probably the ones close to, if not the ones that are going feral.
Well, regardless.
We need to go to the coast.
Well, yeah.
Because they've been throwing bodies off of there.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. As for this one, so that way we know that it doesn't come back as one of those feral ones. I can make it so it doesn't come back as an undead.
Or we could just burn the body. Can't come back as an undead if there's no body.
Yeah, you either can go burn it, make sure it's just taken care of, or, hack it to pieces.
Milani's like, I get to hack a body to pieces.
I was about to say, XJ's pulling out a hand axe. It's like, okay, so the question is, do we want to drag this all the way back up the hill, or do we just want to burn it here?
If we gotta go to the coast, we might as well take it there, 'cause it sounds like we're gonna have a lot of bodies to burn down the coast.
Okay,
Alright.
This is going to be gross of me to say, but can you, cut its head off? If we're going to have to hoof it, if we're going to drag it around. I'm pretty sure if it doesn't have a head, it can't become a skeleton.
Want me to make a strength check for it, or?
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
Ioka is going to ask the spirits if the feral undead have spirit, as a spirit of soul.
Okay, make me a religion check.
You want me to make a strength check to cut off its head, or do we just assume I can?
No, you can do that. If you don't do it once, you can do it a second time. You know what? Do make me a strength check.
Oh, whoops, wrong. What was the command again? It's been a while.
/R, space D20 plus your strength.
Excuse me.
Oh, that was a low roll.
Make me another one.
This is gonna get messy.
Yeah, actually, what I'm doing, your strength checks are just going to be how much guts you splash onto Melania and Morgan.
Is it rolling, or am I putting something in wrong?
It is rolling. Let's see. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's rolling. Yeah, go ahead. Just keep going until you get DC 10 and cut off its head.
There we go. It took 3 swings. It was not a cut clean. Like the spinal cord was a bit thick. But now XJ's got blood all over his hands. Why aren't you coming off?
Ioka is gonna look at Morgan and go, "He's not a good executioner."
Excuse you, I'm a great executioner.
Well, to be fair, it was already dead.
So, Nyoka, the spirits are going to respond with, Order of clerics makes it hard to discern.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Order of clerics make it hard to discern, meaning this was intentional.
Those fucking dark clerics here.
Nyoka is going to mention that maybe clerics are involved in this.
So, does it sound like a witch hunt is in our future?
Didn't Aryea arrange for clerics to come help?
I'll be right back, I need to use bathroom.
She did. She got the Gaiori to come to town and help deal with the sin.
God.
Did they ever roll into town?
You guys, she went to Beechwood Retreat, asked for them, and came back immediately. You guys went into Beechwood Retreat for the next 2 days.
So I'm gonna have like, because it just occurred to me who we asked for. It's like, we had the Gaiori come into town. We need to start asking around. We may have invited some discord into Lockleal. Aryea did ask for help from clerics, but it's the same clerics that fireball-wielding whore works for.
What a rude summary of Iskara.
Well, I could be nicer about it, but she's not a dead fireball.
Yeah, she's a soon-to-be dead fireball-throwing whore.
You could say we have a few bone to pick with her.
Hers. The
Boo.
to the knee bone. But
Did that rattle your funny bone?
I bet you it did.
So, do you begin investigating for the, I forgot everybody can see my screen. Do you begin investigating for the, Gaiori? Or, you can go out and, just ask somebody on the street, if anybody's seen them. I'll allow you to roll an investigation check and set it at DC 12. Otherwise, if you guys think there's some place that they are in town, you can head straight there.
Plan of attacks.
I wonder if we want to ask Huker some questions.
Well, we don't have time for that right now.
Yeah?
But, okay. The way I see it, actually, so the docks are there any buildings left in the dock area? Like, it's cursed land and you shouldn't stick around in it, but... whatchamajigger, the Portmaster's Authority, the tower in the middle, was made of stone. Most of it's still standing. Pieces of the upper parts of it are, in rubble, and that, the taller wooden supports that allowed the stone to hold the weight, that part has fallen in, but, the base and foundation of the tower is still up. Other than that, anything on the street that wasn't... And I researched this, meticulations for these small streets, anything that wasn't meticulated on mortar or stone, all gone and destroyed, all the wood and second floors of buildings. The rubble of some first floors would still be there, but other than that, most of that side of town is rubble. To answer your question, no, there's no whole building. The closest whole building would be the Portmaster Authority. Okay. So, the way I see it is we have a handful of, investigative options. We can go to the coast. The gallery might not be, camped out there, but it's where they're dumping the bodies. So if there are bodies to handle, that's where the bodies 2, we can go talk to the White Cloaks, and we can talk to the Cabal. This group seems good, well enough to just handle their own business, but if they were at least going to pretend like they were here to help, they're the people you'd go talk to. At least assuming we weren't in town. Other than that, you know, I guess they could be on the outskirts. Or they could be foolishly camping out in the blighted side of town. They're a bunch of clerics, they might actually know how to fix it, or at least ignore it. So, what's the, does anybody have any suggestions on how to go handle this? Trying to
Next day we go down to the coast and start checking out the potential bodies.
XJ can go into the blighted part of town and start asking questions. And probably actually investigate, see if there's any more zombies popping up. They like it where it's dark.
Okay. So Nyoka, Morgan, and Milani head to the cliffside, and XJ to the coast, or to the docks.
Well, I can head with XJ.
I want my paladin friend, who's also immune to diseases.
Look,
Hold me close, Private Milani.
look, I
not
really
not
think...
that far, but mostly just like you're also immune, and
Look,
it's not a bad idea to have an extra body.
Look, I don't know how I feel about splitting us all up. You two are the most equipped to go into that side of town, but, you know, we're actively searching for what may be a threat. We work better together than we do alone.
Well, how about this then? I don't feel comfortable having you and Nyoka go down to the cliffside by yourselves as it is. By yourselves. Why don't you two check out Bill in town, relatively close by. The White Coats and the Cabal, see about any clerics in the area while we check out that part of town.
If things get bad, we can always run.
Yeah.
Fine, that seems like a plan.
Dot Bula Yaumar.
I don't plan on it.
I'm confident in my fighting skills, but you know, my time in the force, I know when it's time to pull back.
And I'm a little more well-equipped fighting undead than Gilmar was. But I don't plan on staying if it's an unwinnable fight.
Actually, are we going right now, or is this like going to be like tomorrow?
Better to take care of it today. You know, tomorrow I have a fight scheduled, so, you know, I don't know how that'll go, and not necessarily be at full strength.
Sorry, XJ, you gotta put your,
Well, no, I was thinking of that, but I was thinking of like, do we happen to have a longbow and some arrows just lying around in the...
You guys can sell a silver bar and buy one.
Well, what I'm thinking is basically like, I need like, my hand axes are fine and all, but like, this is zombie.
Oh, you guys have one member who's an archer. Let me... Oh yeah, you do have Geraldin. Geraldin has a longbow.
Like, do you have, I don't know, do you have a spare bow? I don't want to take all, I don't want to take your weapon.
He's a melee ranger.
Oh yeah, he might not have it. Let's see.
Does he have a hand crossbow? I'll take a hand crossbow.
Group F. And, Geraldin. Briarbosk. Alright. Character sheet, and... He does have a longbow. I mean, Geraldin's Geraldin's just been chilling out inside the guild hall until he gets his next target. He's more than happy to let you borrow his longbow and 20 arrows.
Okay.
But he's just gonna say, hey, when we've got to go get our next mark, I want it back.
That's fine. I'm actually going to take those arrows, and I'm going to take a length of cloth from my inventory, and I'm going to start tearing them into pieces and tying them to the ends of the arrows, and then I'm going to be dipping those arrows in the oil.
Okay.
Basically make myself some makeshift fire arrows.
Alright, that is perfectly fine. Yes.
Sucked when you set the bow on fire.
Where are you guys going? What was the final decision on
Because
the split?
I don't have any holy or silvered weapons at the moment, so the best against zombies without that is like fire. Fire is really good against zombies.
No, you can just beat zombies to death.
We can beat zombies to death, but they do have physical resistances.
Most
They have undead fortitude too, where they just keep getting back up, or they have a chance to keep getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what was the decision on the split as far as like where everyone's headed?
Me and XJ are heading to the Badlands, the docks.
Okay. And Morgan and Nyoka?
Where are we going? Are we gonna go question the White Cloaks?
Yeah, I thought we're gonna find out where the clerics are.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go bother the White Cloaks. It's always nice to give sass to Nihilest.
Enotok is dead. Inu and Nihilest are still alive. Says, guy's still alive. Okay, I'm looking at the White Cloaks. They're so decimated.
I'm telling you, we should propose a merger.
Anyways,
That one there.
where were they staying? The Hardy Flame. That was it. Alright, so you guys head over to the Hardy Flame. We're going to deal with you first because, you're going to get there first. Of course, it's not hard to find the White Cloaks as there is going to be a small celebration here happening for their for the successful return to business. The 7 remaining members, it was Inu plus the other 6, are...
There really only 7 of them?
7 remaining in charge members. they were an organization of 150. They lost like 75 in the docks. 20-something of them died in the inn that day when you guys came in to cure the handful of members. And when you informed Nihilest of what was going on, that's when she split the guild. Out of those, most of the people in town that were dying were members of the White Cloaks, as that they own that entire section of town. And that's when basically the leadership condemned the sick members to that part of town. But there are 7 leaders upper members of them left. The White Cloaks, their numbers were made up of dock workers and slaves, and lower people who just did the physical labor. Those people, although are gone, are replaceable with gold. So, they're not out of luck. As long as you still have the brains of the operation there, you're good. Anyways. They're going to be celebrating, although it is a pretty somber celebration. Walking in and just approaching their table, Nihilest, for the first time looking at you, is not going to have that dull, angry expression on her face. It's going to start that way, and then the corners of her mouth are going to cave into a smile, and she's going to stand up and say, we were just amassing for a celebration this evening. Nothing extravagant, but of course, as a friend of the organization now, you're invited to dine with us. She'll gesture to the table.
A friend of the organization? Are you sure?
She shakes her head and says, Inu told me of your willingness to help out earlier and your efficiency in doing so. And she's going to say, there's contracts we can arrange in the future. And nonetheless, I'll never forget Yomar's help in that harlot, Aryea, down by the docks.
I would ask that you don't speak ill of Aryea in my presence. She's a lovely lady, and she's out traveling, so she's not here to defend herself.
She nods and says, yes, I understand. Inu, a little intoxicated, is gonna turn over and say she never could control her tongue with that one.
I don't know how I want to take that statement.
Nonetheless doesn't take it well, shooting her a look of just like, drink your damn ale. And she looks back at you and says, well, if not to celebrate, then what do I owe the honor of your presence?
It occurred to me that our mutual friend had arranged for a group of clerics to come to the town to help with the sickness. But we ended up having pressing matters in Beechwood Retreat, so we've been gone for a few days. You seemed like the people most likely to know if those clerics had ever actually arrived in town.
She nods and says, yes, you give the Gaiori an inch and they wish to take an entire acre. They set up in Chat's healing house, took over the place.
I'm not happy to hear this. But I'm not saying that out loud. Not happy to hear this.
And she's gonna say, that said, we stopped sending our sick there while we could afford the services. Let's say they were effective in curing the sickness, as no sick person ever returned from their healing house sick.
Can you kind of say that again? That seemed like...
and she says they were murdering, or rather they were killing most of the cases that were far along rather than giving proper treatment.
We have... That's partially why I wanted to talk to you about it. We think we've found some of their fresh bodies as disposing of some of the others. I've come to know recently that the Gaiori are not to be trusted. Had I known, I wouldn't have let them come into town to help at all.
She's gonna smile a little bit and say, so you've been reading?
I have been reading, but also personal experience. While we were in Beechwood, an agent of theirs tried to set me on fire.
So I did read my homework, but more so.
I did my homework, but my extracurricular activities help drive it home.
She's, gonna like put a hand over her mouth and say, well, it's no tactic, or it's no secret, the singular agenda of the Gaiori It rivals that of the Undying Empress in the south. One foe to the north and one to the south. That's just life in the clutch, though.
Being pulled at from both ends is what shattered the kayak.
Nyoka's gonna say, be simple. You eliminate them one by one.
If Elizabeth is half as resilient as Sis, that's not going to be very easy.
Didn't say it'd be easy. It just, you do it.
Nyless is gonna wave her hand at that, though, and say, there's no real merit to having a presence in Lockleal. The Gaiori have interest in Beechwood Retreat as a colony of Undar. But we really have no ties to the town other than the citizens that work here inside of it. I suppose when whatever arrangement Aryea made with them is complete, they'll be packing back up and leaving.
And Nyoka is going to be, then you be a fool to think the hungry wolf is going to avoid a morsel when it's easily got.
What?
I mean, she understood all of that.
I was about to say, that's really easy to follow.
Yeah, I mean, she's right
No,
there.
he was like really quiet. I did not hear him. Like, what?
You be a fool to think a hungry wolf is going to pass up an easy morsel.
There, is that better?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and she's gonna say, well, I can't argue with the work that they've done while they've been in town. With how that plague spread through the Windbarrow, the rest of the town stayed relatively unaffected, and the Steel Cabal contained everybody who was sick to the region, or rather to the part of town. For the most part, I'd say, as much as I'd hate to admit it, we really dodged an arrow thanks to them.
Pretty convenient, don't you think?
I almost feel personally insulted because I don't know what they've actually done besides cull a shit ton of people. Like, I personally have healed like 16 people. We've all had a good hand in keeping us from falling into the abyss. But we need to be mindful of intruders. If they pack up and leave, that's fine. But we need to be worried if they start... if they stay a little too long. We haven't always seen eye to eye. But... be in your corner long before I be in theirs.
Alright, I'm gonna hit you with something kind of complicated to follow. She's going to give you some information and say, well, I'm staying out of their field of view. The White Cloaks have struggled enough as it is these past couple days, and until we're back functioning at 100%, I don't want any additional obstacles in the road that I have to consider. But the leader of the order that's in town right now is Delia. That is spelled Dellia.
Delia. I feel like it's Delilah and you're just spelling it weird.
And she's going to say that is... well, and that's why I said this is confusing. That is... that's the right-hand woman of Dolilla. And that is spelled Dolia. Morgan knows she has met Dolilla. She is the woman who resurrected Willis, the cleric inside of the Master of Magic's tower. and Beechwood Retreat.
So, Delia is the right-hand woman of Dolilla. Dolilla resurrected Willa.
Yes.
So, they sent Top Woman. Well, not Top Woman, but near Top Woman to handle our little stupid town.
No, they sent 5. Clerics was what Aryea told you.
But I mean, the leader of this little faction is not some scrub.
I mean, you just know that this isn't the top person in the Gaiori.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's
she has some amount of reputation within the organization.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, from this, I mean, like, yeah, from the sounds of it, it's like feels more like a cleric Elmira in terms of rank. But
yeah, that's fair.
You know, like, this is like the first mate. Like, I don't know what their resources are. It just feels a little weirdly higher up for our problems. I guess my point is, it feels like a decent investment when something that don't seem to actually care about.
Yeah.
That, so, in character. That concerns me. I met Dolilla. I mean, she seemed like a nice enough woman. She gypped me out of 1,000 gold.
Can I continue to confuse you?
Yeah.
Calilla, and they all have similar names for a reason, was the woman...
Calilla?
Calia was the woman who gypped you out of 1,000 gold. She was a member of the Scholars of the Galena Mave. That is the Silver Sigil contact.
That makes sense.
These clerics all look alike.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not a cleric. Well, she might be a cleric, but...
She was not capable of casting divine magic. She had to summon one of the Gaiori.
It's like she might have been, but she wasn't part of the group, so she's not like, it's not like by occupation. if she were,
she's evil financially, not morally. I can go over all of that again because it is, kind of confusing.
I might need the spellings, but I got it.
Okay.
The one that's gonna get me is the Gaiori. Just because it's Della and then Dolilla, and it's like, I'm just gonna get it wrong by virtue of the fact that they're only a syllable off. Look, if you'd like me to behave, I can behave. But I don't trust. I don't trust these people. I don't trust what they plan. I think it'll affect our overall business. It's one thing to work with a bunch of merchants. It's another thing to live under the shadow of a tyrant.
And Niles is going to nod and say, "Well, if you take care of it for us, I suppose some measure of Lochliel's independence will be in your debt."
We can always talk terms later if it comes to that. In the meantime, we have some work planned out of Lochliel, so we won't be exactly reachable. But if you need healing, you can either send for one of us or come directly to the guild. We had intended to talk to, is it Chet, about a partnership at the Heal House.
Niles laughs.
Well, up until Up until Arya's decision that undercut some of our business endeavors, we are the only divine healers.
Yeah, she nods and says, if you manage to dislodge the Gaiori, that could potentially be an option for you. I see it as a sound investment. If you need any capital to help soothe Chet's mind in the future for the endeavor, she looks around and says, we'd be willing investors, provided the Gaiori are not involved.
They wouldn't be. And you can trust me that your patients will return alive. Well, at the very least, you'll trust that I won't kill them on purpose.
She's gonna nod, pick up a glass of wine, and toast and say, Talakliel. All 6 of her members behind her are going to join in it. Talakliel. If Morgan doesn't do anything, she's gonna gesture, for another cup and hold it towards you and say, business adjourned?
Business adjourned.
The person who doesn't drink keeps getting drinks into him.
Nyoka is just gonna take the drink and drink it.
I just imagine it as just sort of like, it's like when Zoro takes drinks stuff around Luffy. It's just making sure it's not poison, boss.
Yeah, Nylessa's expression is more like, oh, you let the help drink? Okay, that's fine. However you do business. And she turns around and goes back to her group.
Help.
This is when Nyoka spits and goes, I ain't no help.
Lately, you haven't been. We should go see if Milani and XJ are okay.
Transition?
Yeah, so you guys, it's going to take you a little bit longer. So, when you guys leave, there was one bit of information I still wanted to convey. As you leave, Inu is going to turn and call towards you and say, tomorrow we're hiring who's ever willing to go in and clean the wind barrow. If the Silver Tree wants a contract with us, just show up just after dawn.
Well, I have the fight with Mada.
And Inu, brushes a hand and says, she's not heartless, she's not going to kill you.
She has to worry if I'm heartless.
Yeah, you can't see that expression. Inu puts up her hands, so just like, well. But yeah, other than that, she goes back to drinking with her party. Just another potential opportunity for you guys if you want to clean the wind barrow. But the other 2 members of the party, XJ and Milani, what are you looking for over here? Where do you head? As soon as you get out of the city gates, you're in. There are parts of this land that have those splots, those oily splots on it, of where the blighted skeletons fell, darted across the stonework. All the buildings, are tattered and destroyed as this area was burned to the ground.
Right. Kind of what I'm thinking is, if there were any zombies, they would more than likely be. This place has a sewer system, right?
The port side of town, So some buildings do have indoor plumbing. Some of the nicer buildings over here would definitely have indoor plumbing. Not necessarily an entire sewer that does it. But you can
like, big enough for people to fit in, or
you can investigate one of the buildings that does.
Can I use perception? My investigation is trash.
Yeah, just looking at how some of the sewage works. I mean, you find one of like the nicer, larger buildings of like a bunkhouse for the upper members. Roll me a perception check looking for the sewage system here. All right. So on the backs of these buildings and going down into the ground, there is it is only like maybe the grate for this is only maybe large enough for XJ's arm, and it is a small little arch, just kind of that runs under this building. And it's on top of a green rock. These rocks are layered in a way that this whole thing's not made up of this green rock. It's only in certain areas running northeast to northwest to southeast.
Right. You said that was the grate, though.
Yeah, that's how all of this plumbing is set up. So there's it's kind of in areas where it has to run up. There's these channels of kind of like aqueducts that are all on the backside. They're all on the backsides of these buildings, and they run northwest northwest to southeast, and that is where the green stone is. The rest of it is regular stone, and it's built into the building. The pieces that connect to the building and run straight west to east and straight north to south are regular stonework. These run along the buildings all the way to the bottom floor of the pavement, and underneath the building in an archway that's probably a foot tall.
Alright, well that idea's a bust. I'm going to turn to, I'm sorry, what's your character's name again? I want to say Nyoka, but I'm not sure that's right.
Nyoka's the lizard folk, Milani is the paladin.
Milani. I'm going to turn to Milani and simply ask, like, you have any way of tracking undead, or?
Well, kinda, but doesn't work well through walls.
I'm thinking we just do a general sweep of the area. Take it like one building at a time. I kind of want to start where the blight is the worst and slowly work our way out.
Okay, roll me an intelligence check. I'm going to say DC 8. Yeah, for XJ.
Okay. My intelligence is not good. It's a -1.
Believe in yourself. Alright, so that is an interesting thought. As you go looking for this, there are areas where the blight is definitely noticeably worse. In so much as each time one of these skeletons exploded, it was just a bunch of gunk everywhere, and each area was equally as bad. You can either assume parts of the town are getting worse, or B, parts of the town, somebody has been working to get it better. But there are noticeable areas where it is better and worse. Whereas last time you guys were here, that was not a thing.
I'm gonna start using Divine Sense to see if anything starts popping up.
Okay, I will let you know if you come into contact with anything. Divine Sense on Celestials, Fiends, and Undeads. Okay. So, yeah, moving to where it would be the worst would definitely be the western edge of the town towards the docks. This area seems to be through whatever was happening on the other side of town definitely isn't happening over here. Every gunky spot is still slick and viscous, staining the stonework underneath the ground or on the ground. XJ's got no sense of smell, no sense of poison or anything like that. But yeah. This is the worst area. You guys don't find any undead over here just walking around and looking. The Divine Sense doesn't trigger either.
Seems relatively clean. Well, matter of speak, I guess.
I drew a blue X where you guys are looking now.
Alright. I'm just going to do another kind of sweep around. I'm looking for any signs of recent disturbances or destruction.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
No,
you're just rolling perception. Looking around.
Because it is more of a general look. I don't have anything specific in mind yet.
Yeah. Looking around, and you're not going to be able to discern what's recent and what isn't, but you would just be able to look to see if you notice anything. Moving about, of course, as you guys are walking, you're tracking footsteps through this gunk and other stuff. You're definitely going to see footsteps, not in this area, but like as you get back towards the center of town, or the center of the docks. Less of them around the Portmaster's Authority. And just kind of noticing, like, as you notice that, the area around the Portmaster's Authority is going to be kind of like one of the better spots in town. You're going to notice that you guys probably weren't the only people to come through here and loot stuff, as the road would be cleared of debris. Not completely, but in some areas where, stuff clearly fell or was shattered or broken. Some salvageable pieces of wood, metal, and panes of glass that were still intact were removed from buildings or the street. And that is, I'm going to do this as a circle. That is moving southwards, just sweeping around.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. I guess do another check if anything new.
Yeah. Once again, on perception, you're not going to be able to discern newness. You're gonna get the same thing you got before, a little less. Just maybe cloud coverage obscuring some of your vision with the sun being clouded.
Alright. I'm gonna ask Milani if he's got anything.
I'll do another divine sense.
Okay.
A little further in when we're near one of the cleaner areas.
Okay, so headed back towards the center of town.
Yeah. Where all the footprints and all that were treaded.
Yeah, we are checking like every building and.
Okay. Go ahead and well, I mean, you don't have to roll anything for divine sense. Yeah, pings on undead, celestials, and fiends. Now the thing is, there are things that don't trigger your divine sense. So it's not the be-all, end-all of detection. Let's see. Action until you know. Okay, you are going to, moving through the center of town, you are going to detect an area of holy ground that's been affected by a hollow.
Okay.
I think that's all you get from your divine sense. I don't think you can tell what type of hollow is affecting it.
Don't think it gives specifics. I think it's just like, this is here. Do what you will with it.
Yeah. So yeah, you do. As you get closer to the center of town, you do feel that divine energy just kind of radiating from the earth.
Once I feel that, I'll just look at XJ and go, we're good. There's nothing here. Most of a lot of the ground's been sanctified already.
Alright. Good to know.
We should meet back up with the others and head over to the cliffside now.
Sure, there might be something over there.
I'm gonna.
See, I still feel like there's something here. We're just missing it. I mean,
I feel so bad because I'm thinking of the Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow's song. "Oh, if only I had a brain."
oh.
I'm kidding. It's just the first thing that popped in my head of just like, man, I feel like there's something here. I really wish I could tell what it was.
I'm not saying I wish I could tell what it was. I'm saying like I have a feeling in my gut there is something here and we just haven't found it yet.
The only thing I could think, last place I could think to look right now would be the spot where we buried those original bodies we burned, and Morgan and
Nyoka?
No. Yolmar fought that one guy. That was more along the coastline, so we can check that out before we go if that'll make you feel more at ease.
Alright, I'm going to continue my careful sweep as we continue out.
Okay.
Check on
one more perception roll, or?
Yeah, you can roll it as whatever you want. I'll tell you, the results of what you get, depending on what you roll.
They're just progressively getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of on edge, looking over your shoulder the whole time, moving through here. I'm sorry. Oh, you guys are heading south towards the docks. Alright, so, you are going to head towards the docks and look towards, like where the thing was that you were fighting. Knowing before, last time you guys came through here, its body was still sitting here. Its body is actually missing now.
Wait, what?
Its body is gone. Something has either tended to it or taken it.
Not okay with this.
Well, you wouldn't know. You weren't here for that.
We told the story.
No, yeah, and you guys came back through. I don't remember who, but somebody came back through just to make sure the body was still here.
It was Yolmar and I, because that's when we got his shovel.
Yeah.
But did you guys take care of the body, or this is just now the body's gone?
Well,
No.
when it was described to me when we went and got his shovel...
Oh, and that's
I thought
when
he
Morgan
got
grabbed the key off of it. Yep.
He was described as, like, a vaguely human-shaped mush. I don't know if that was maybe just a bad description. I might have heard wrong. Like, it didn't feel like a thing to take care of, because it didn't sound like a person.
Yeah, no, he was a person. He was just beaten to death by bludgeoning damage from Yolmar.
Well, like I said, I'm just noting that the way the description worked, it was kind of
Yeah.
like, well, why bother? He's, this is vaguely humanoid mush at this point. It's taken care of.
Seeing that the body is gone, Milani's gonna run over to the spot where the bodies were buried.
XJ, I'm gonna do a survival check. I'm gonna look around, see if there's any tracks or anything.
Okay, go ahead. Milani, going into the pit, nothing seems different than the night you guys came here and obviously wind and tide. Nothing seems different from the time that, you came in here and rescued Yolmar, other than, the regular geographical changes. As far as XJ's survival check, from where the body was, it is pretty far up on the shore. You can surmise that it's been here for some time, as there's like a divot in the ground of like sand and the tide coming over this thing and just kind of pulling sand away, and it's just kind of made a basin. From that basin, there are drag marks of the body being dragged. Not tracks of it walking. If there are tracks of it walking, whatever sprinkling or wind of the tide has, blown those away. But the divot of, being dragged out of this basin is still enough there that XJ notices it.
Looks like someone came and took it.
Where are the drag marks leading?
Northwards. Back towards the port parts of the docks. I'll draw it with a. I'll draw the area where you guys killed the body, and an arrow where the which way the drag is pointing. I hope that arrow's good enough.
We're in a different part than I thought we were.
Yeah, that's where the body was, and then where you guys buried the bodies is just down the coast a little bit further.
Okay.
Milani's gonna use his last divine sense to feel around now.
Well, would they have consecrated anything up here? Yeah, you don't feel anything up here. I think divine sense lasts for a minute.
No, it lasts a turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't feel anything over here.
Alright.
So either we had someone taking care of the body, but they're going away from where we've been burying them.
Well, from here they would have to go through the town to where they've been buried in the cemetery.
I mean, if it's the I'm worried, like, if these clerics are behind this, do you think they might be trying to make an amalgamation?
I don't think so. I think they might have just removed the bodies since, they're trying to clean it up. But it's not entirely impossible.
I don't know. I'm just thinking like I'm very worried about a second wave. Like now with like these zombies, now with the possibility of zombies popping up, it's got me on edge.
Why, you can't get turned.
No, but like zombies are a little hard to keep down without the proper equipment.
What was that, Anthony?
Oh, Molly, I was just making a quip at XJ, just going, can robots feel fear?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not really fear; it's more concern. Like, this is an opponent. These are opponents that are basically are hard to keep down. That I'm not properly equipped for.
Oh.
And on top of that, like, if there is an amalgamation, amalgamations are not easy to put down.
Luckily for you, I'm pretty well equipped for handling undead. Come on, let's go meet up with the others and let Morgan know. See what she thinks.
Alright. I don't know, we got the forge going and everything, we bought a bunch of supplies. Like, I have a deposit on this place now.
Alright, so heading towards the city gate, you guys are going to rendezvous with the other two members of your party waiting for you. The party is together, and I'm going to just draw this in a blue mark just because I don't want to change colors. There we go, I drew it as an upside down P. At that city gate. Everybody is back together.
Howdy, boss. We keep you waiting long?
Not very long. I spent an awful lot of time partying with the White Cloaks.
Alka's gonna look at you and go partying?
Nah, we mostly talked, did some business. Why you gotta be so sour about things tonight?
I only drank 2 of your drinks.
Anyways, did you discover anything interesting? We discovered some nice information.
Well, not a hell of a lot. Seems that the clerics had been sanctifying the land. One thing did come up in our search that was unnerving, but potentially nothing major. That body of the person who was messing around with the graves the night that you and Yulmar killed. That all this happened.
Yeah, that thing that I found on the beach the night after?
Yeah. It's gone.
Looks like it was dragged off, though.
Well, that's not good to hear.
I didn't detect any divine sanctification in that area, but it's possible the clerics just grabbed the body and removed it from the area since they're here trying to clean it up. But
Or he has a friend. Or he got up and walked.
No, it wasn't walk trail, it was drag.
Was there a path to the dragging?
Yeah,
it was heading further in.
Then it met up with the street and we kind of lost the trail.
Did you catch exactly where it met up with the street?
Did we?
Yeah. Basically, it met up with the street right by the buildings nearby. It was being dragged northwards, back towards this way.
So we found out that the Gyori have taken over the heal house.
Oh, have they?
Yes. And that their method of healing, for the most part, has been to kill the affected. Honestly, I almost applaud the shamelessness of it all. I waste less magic if I just murder them. But
yeah, but you
I'm a
waste
good
more of our
person.
time. You waste more of our time having to burn bodies that way. What do you say we go heal the Gaiori later?
I guess, like, I'd rather let them die and spit.
Well, we could try their method of healing.
Well, I'm perfectly fine with that. As we've established, one of their members is apparently that lovely fireball slinging woman. So,
Oh, she.
they're all... Well, I don't think she's here. I'm just saying, if they're at all with that, they all seem to have the same temperament. I already intended to kill that woman, so... But we also found out that the leader of the group in the town is the right-hand woman of the lady that resurrected Willis.
Maybe you can get your deposit back from the resurrection.
That was the Galena May. They put out the contract, I caused the grievance. They'd be who I want to yell at. My point is that this might mean that this lady's no slouch.
I guess the question is, like, does this need to be taken care of quietly, or are we allowed to go in and kick down the door?
Next year, we live in the clutch. There aren't laws. If I want to burn that place to the ground, I can burn that place to the ground. It's more a matter of... It's more a matter of who's going to respond to that kind of aggression. And do remember, this lady works for a person who can resurrect. So if we kill them, we burn the body.
Obviously. But I'd rather not kick the door or burn the building down, because,
Oh, I wouldn't want to put Chad out of a house.
that, and B, we want to potentially own that.
Look, I think if we're going to do anything with them, we need to at least talk to them or observe. They might be on the up and up outside of their methods. Or they're sinister evil beings and we should cleanse them from our town.
Looking at what they're doing over in the docks, they seem fairly on the up and up there, at least.
True, but we don't know what they're after, if they're after anything. They clean up those docks, and then they claim them as their own.
Well, if anything, once they're done cleaning up the docks, that's when we can move in. So, they do the hard work, and then we swoop in.
By the way, just clarification to ensure you guys are talking on the right points. Nyleth told Morgan she sent her sick there and they never left. When Morgan was confused by that, Nyleth said she assumed they're killing them, and she stopped sending her sick there.
Okay, so I don't actually have confirmation.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, they're killing them probably. That's why I stopped sending people there. Nobody ever came out.
Then I'll sort of reestablish. The sick don't seem to come back. I don't know what they're doing with them. They could be killing them. That makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. Maybe they're shoving them in a hole somewhere, letting them rot. That would hold at least some credence. That might explain why some feral ones are out and about.
Actually, the thought you had earlier seems a little more probable.
Which was?
I was concerned that if it's caused by the clerics, as it were, they could actually be gathering the bodies to make an amalgamation.
Raise an army.
More like raise one giant zombie that's very hard to kill.
Either way, may it be dozens or one made of dozens. Something we might have to handle.
Pretty much.
That's fine.
But the question is how we do this. We don't have evidence. We know bodies go in. We know patients go in, patients don't come. We don't know what happened.
No.
For all we know, that that body discovered the dark secret. Died for. Or he was just some poor soul walking around the streets and one got loose.
Well, there's always finding out, and the simplest way of that is I might have to pull some extra hours at the heal house.
Well, if they'll take you, remember, it's not run by him anymore. It's run by them, and they are divine cast. We've become obsolete.
Yeah, but they could always use some extra help.
Well, it's a good
Not unless they
pretense.
want to keep a monopoly.
Well, it's a decent pretense to talk to them. I mean, the worst they could do is whatever they're doing to these patients, but they kind of assert their dominance, you know.
That's
Puff out their chest, flare their nostrils, tell you to scram.
And if Chet's still there, might be able to get some information out of him.
Or if we can at least confirm that he's not, you know, he might be somewhere else in town. We can ask what's up.
But I think
Also, tomorrow we were offered a contract to help clean up the wheelbarrow. Is that what it's being called?
Windburrow.
Windburrow. The Windburrow.
well,
Spruce it up, I guess. You know, now that it's free of court.
maybe it would be wise that I go to the heal house tomorrow then during that time. And you guys head over to the wind barrel and help with that.
Well, it would be
Kinda
after my fight, so.
That's fine. I think our more pressing matter is to go check out the cliffside.
Yeah, we should probably go do that. And then, I don't know, I guess. What time is it?
Brandon was-
It's the afternoon.
Okay.
Probably moving into the late afternoon. Alright, so the consensus is for the group to check out the cliffside.
Go check the cliffside, and then I think go from there.
Alright. The cliffside. Alright. Pushing through the buildings and alleyways built onto this cliffside, onto the western part of town, and headed to the northwestern part of town where it's, the highest up. Looking down over the cliffs, the higher part of it is not the prettiest affair. For the most part, the rain washed away a lot of the blood and, pushed down some of the bodies that were stuck. There's still going to be a few bodies scattered along the edges of the cliffs, dotted here and there. I'll roll a d12. How many are left here? 7. Otherwise, you guys can climb down the cliffs and try and get them. The rocks and everything moving down from the town, it could be dangerous. It's at least 120 foot, maybe 200 foot descent into the waters below, and that's if you avoid the toothy rocks.
Is it possible just to walk around?
Walk around to where the bodies are?
Yeah.
This hill cliff is one of the reasons that makes Lochleil such a desirable place as far as where people can settle. It's still going to be difficult, but this is a pretty defensive, just natural wall of the town for any seaside invaders. That there is only a slim portion of the town that can be hit by ships or raiders or something like that.
Melani's gonna look up. Or
Who's
look at them and-
dexterous? Because that's not XJ.
This isn't really.
I guess XJ can go through the water, technically.
This isn't a dexterous thing.
Actually, here's a question. I don't know how long it would take, but can XJ just like walk like through the water shore, just like around all that? I don't need to breathe, so.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the nearest bodies to you guys are 50 feet down, which would also mean that they're 50 feet up. So XJ can, or I'm sorry, or that means they're 150 feet up. So XJ can walk down and, begin walking along the cliffside, but then he'd have to climb up the cliffside to get to, the bodies, at least the ones that are still here.
So basically, that does not solve the problem.
Yeah. That said, I rolled a random die of the height of these bodies.
I do hate to like cut this off, but like I do have work in the morning, and it's like 11.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sorry, I'm on the Pacific Coast, so I wasn't thinking of the time. All right, so let's. Can you go for 10 more minutes?
Yeah, I can go for 10 more minutes.
All right, so we'll do 10 more minutes. So, you can, I rolled a random die. The nearest body is 50 feet down from you. You can, if you guys have 100 feet of rope, could secure it to something secure, and one person can descend this, provided, the rope holds. Otherwise, it's a 50-foot climb down to get the body, which would be your best bet if you want to retrieve the body. The fact that the bodies are still there is probably a good sign.
I mean, I have 50 feet worth of rope from my adventurer's gear, so does anyone else?
I'm thinking that this might just be something we let slide. It's dangerous. And if they're still here, they're not zombies.
Well, even if they turn into zombies, they try moving on that, they're probably going to just go straight down.
I'm inclined to think this
zombies
is a problem.
don't need to breathe either, so.
I'm inclined to think this is a problem that's already solved itself. Or at the very least, the risks of having, well, at least anybody that is XJ, I guess. I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth the trouble.
I mean, I could probably do it without much issue.
Like I said, I'd rather not risk losing one of you to clean up corpses.
I know, I'm just concerned for the town if, like, we got a zombie apocalypse on our hand.
We've already gone through one.
But a second wave.
XJ, you still have those oil-dipped arrows, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Why not just start setting the bodies on fire from up here?
I don't think the flames will be strong enough. Especially, well, like, is the water splashing on them, or are they still high enough where
not reaching? The water wouldn't hit these up here, but it did rain heavily yesterday.
Yeah, no, that won't work. That won't catch them.
Yeah, so your guys' two best options is either descent or just leaving them. If somebody else has like an adventurer's pack that also has, or an explorer's pack that also has rope in it. So
I have rope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure between the party you guys have at least 100 feet of rope. So your options would either be going down and grabbing one or leaving.
Probably our best option would be to leave them.
I'd say leave them and, like...
We'll come back and check them every day, periodically.
Alright. And where's the party want to head from here?
Well, we can either go bother the heal house now, or we can go home, start working on the personal projects we've been neglecting.
What time of day is it in the world?
Late afternoon, on the 21st of Priestess.
So that'd be
I think we go bother the heal house. We got time.
If you guys want to go head back to do your personal stuff, I can hit up the heal house. Or if Morgan wants to come with me. No offense to you or Nyoka, but you're kind of going to be useless there.
I'd be inclined to bring all of them with us. They're not healers. They're not.
We're not healers, but we can definitely be
But-
enforcers.
Morgan will kind of sort of do like the that motion.
Alright. So
Ioka also says, plus if they need us to move stuff, me and XJ can do it. Oh, excuse me, Spirit Stone.
I like to think that's exactly how it came out of his mouth.
Sorry,
He doesn't-
spirit.
alright. So to the heal house, upon arriving, the sign still has, Chat's Heal House on it. Stepping inside, there are, 3 armored, clerics in the back, just kind of talking. The heal house, the beds and cots, or rather the cots, they want to have beds for everybody. The cots are all empty. This whole row that can house about 16 people. There's no one occupying them. Stepping forward, one of the members from the back is going to come and greet the party with her hands behind her back and say, "Welcome. What ails you, and how can we help resolve it?"
I'm gonna let Nyoka do all the talking. Alright, Morgan.
We're the Silver Tree. I'm Morgan, their leader. We haven't been in town for a couple days. I believe one of our associates arranged for you to be here. Additionally, we worked in this heal house. We are mostly here to see need any assistance, and if you've run into any significant problems as you've been in our fair, Lockleal.
She is going to nod and say, extend a hand, one hand still behind her back, the other, and say, Delia, yeah, that's it. Delia, of the Gaiori. And yes, I'm very familiar with the Silver Tree. It's because of you that we're here. We sent word over to your guild house, but that gardener of yours didn't seem very reliable in relaying it.
Gardner?
Gardner?
I think we have a handful of
and she's gonna say the man with the shovels.
He doesn't work for us.
No,
He works for us, just not currently.
yes. He's been drawn away on business. It must be ill timing. And also, he's kind of dumb.
Where's Chat?
And she's gonna raise her eyebrows a little bit and say, "Chat has been relieved of his station. As a mercy, we allowed him to go north of the town and bury his dead. He was hiding things inside of the healing house, things that broke loose. And it turns out his brother was infected beyond a curable measure, and he got loose and attacked another patient. The matter's been resolved, and I gave him, or rather, as a testament to his civil service, I allowed him to leave."
Do you know where he is?
Let's see.
Get those insight buttons ready, boys.
It's gonna be a 6.
Yeah,
Plus 7.
she's,
Mine's gonna be a -1.
yeah, you're gonna see her, hesitate and say, I had, one of my order, follow him to ensure he left town.
Insight checks ready, boys.
Already firing with a 20.
Insight. There it is.
She knows more. Probably hesitating to tell you. Definitely hesitating to tell you. It's whatever it is, probably not something she feels comfortable just sharing.
Well, she probably killed him. Chat's probably dead.
Ioka is just going to walk past her and everybody,
Oh no.
and
Punch her.
No. He's gonna go into the back and just start rummaging around.
Is she gonna let us do that?
I was about to say, am I gonna let you do that?
He's not asking. He's just gonna do it while y'all are talking and busy. He's just gonna.
Does he
walk
do it
around
stealthily?
Like,
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna let you do that.
Yeah, so as Nyoka starts rummaging around, she's, going to be caught off guard a little bit and say, hey, we're running the heal house now. Those supplies are ours.
Oh, he's not taking anything. He's just looking.
No, I know, but that's what she's calling back to.
He's gonna look around and say, "You're
There-
not healing very well. You got nobody here."
Yeah, there are private rooms back here, where people would be, stored or quarantined or have, like, personal quarters.
Yeah, he's gonna go
all,
to one.
all completely
Wait.
empty.
Do we have a whistle or something? Like,
I'm gonna have to start getting a whistle.
like, heal!
We're just gonna finish Dr. Lark.
Oka, what did we say about, clearing things with everybody?
And she's going to say, we don't keep people lingering on death's door as long as chat does. We're very effective in our healing. Some of the magics we have available to us are of a higher level than most practitioners you'd find in this region. Our Ascitar believes in discipline.
Nyoka's gonna cock his head and it's like, all I heard is you stab people.
So it's like a fist, but with.
She smiles and says, I assure you, the only person that died here was the patient that came in last night and stumbled onto Chat's brother. Other than that, I can assure you, nobody has been killed on these premises.
I would like another insight check on that.
You can. I mean, she seems pretty confident in that answer. No hesitation, no anything. Just, meeting stance to stance with you guys. Don't think she's lying on that. At least, nobody can come up with any, body language of what might come to a lie.
Either she's not lying, or man, did she win that check.
She's either not lying or she is a master at bullshit.
One of the two.
We heard that you're very good. One of the local groups in the area said that a lot of their members have never come out though. No bodies, no cured. What do you do with all the bodies that once they're done being treated?
She's gonna say that's information for the Gaiori. If you are part of the great nation of Undar, we could share it with you. But until then, we can help you if need be. But otherwise, please.
Cat.
She's going to exhale and say, "No, I granted Chat a mercy. The fool
can be considered a mercy.
The fool chose to throw himself off the cliffside."
We never said anything about a cliffside.
Well.
And she looks at you and says, "I can assure you, I did not kill him."
Oh no, that wasn't me speaking as XJ. I'm just saying. I don't remember ever mentioning a thing about did we ever mention a cliffside?
No.
Not to that.
No.
Cliffside was completely unprovoked information.
Ayaka's gonna hiss.
Milani's gonna turn to Morgan and say, "Is that enough?"
I think I've gathered everything I need today.
Delia is going to gesture and say, Karin escorted him to the graveyard the Cabal established last night. He buried his dead,
We saw.
and then he jumped off the cliffside. His brother's death and the death of that man was on his head. If I had my brothers, I would have executed him here.
Yeah, I'm inciting the.
I'm just gonna say, I think we need to return to that body, and I think we need to investigate the body.
Well, the thing is she could be totally. See, here's the trick. Here's the trick. Out of character, guys. She's probably telling the exact truth, as she knows it, because there's a layer of abstraction here, and it's Karin.
Oh, I understand that, but remember, this is dealing with one of Milani's friends now.
I'll woo 20.
20 inciting it. Yeah, you can definitely see there is a level of uncomfortableness in her in this statement. As Chat's actions, whatever happened behind the scenes here, definitely did cause somebody to die, and she seems really proud of the fact that nobody has died here.
That she's aware of.
Yeah, if anything, there is contention among the members about this. But for the most part, I mean, you guys saw earlier, the bodies on the
Are the
cliffside.
other members in view, or...?
There are 2 other ones in view. 5 clerics came to town.
But are they making any sort of, reaction, or...?
I mean, they're kind of just talking to each other and just waiting.
So they're not really paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, they're looking at you guys, but they're not super invested in your conversation.
Nyoka is going to give Morgan that look.
The I'm about to punch something look?
Yes.
Don't. No. Not enough information.
I don't know where exactly I'm pointing, but I'm gonna like the finger up, kind of heel notice, don't. So, my question then would be, do you intend to make your stay permanent?
She nods and says, "We're not just going to heal your sick. We're going to heal your town. When we get the blight on the south side of town taken care of, then we'll discuss our future in Lockleal. But until then, that remains our primary focus."
I'm not thrilled about this, but at the same time, I don't think any of us could really heal the blighted part of town.
Oh, I'm not starting a fight today.
I just have one more question for you.
She looks at you.
There was a crumpled mass of a body out on the shoreline next to a hole with some buried bones. Do you know what happened to that?
She's gonna say, stay out of the southern section of town. It's not safe for citizens. That is our responsibility, and we'll take care of it.
Actually, he's gonna speak up with that. It's a good thing we're not citizens.
He's gonna hold up a hand and just show that he has, his divine magic just glowing in his hand. It doesn't affect me.
She's gonna say, regardless of effects, that's our cause. There, walking around, you can spread the blight to other sections of town that we've already cleansed. It's imperative that you stay out of our line of work.
I'm well aware of the effects blight, miss, and I'm not going to have you order me around. Your cause only exists because I let you know about it.
We go where we please. We do what we need.
She's gonna say, well, I'll have you know, there have been reports of things walking around or walking from the sea. My clerics working in the region have ordered to kill on sight.
It's probably for the best. They're probably not human. But if you're gonna take it up with anybody, take it up with the Cabal. They don't know how to get rid of those.
She nods and says, and I just don't want you stepping into their line of fire on the south end of town.
At which Nyoka says, then you better tell them to watch what they fire.
We do really need to get like a leash or something for you, or...
She smiles and says, the God of War hates hesitation.
The God of War what?
Hates hesitation. Oh, the God of War hates hesitation. I forgot my mic was over here.
Hearing her say that, Melania will just smile at her and say, and in the hierarchy, we all have our own purposes.
I'm debating if I want to respond.
Yeah, at that, she's just gonna smile.
Oh, wait, I had a comeback. Storms don't hesitate. And they don't discriminate. I leave it to Redolta to judge what I give her. So, tell your clerics to watch what they're aiming at. Because they won't be able to tell you that they missed.
Nyoka is going to say something pretty offensive, but no one's going to understand it.
Oh god, we're about to get some lizard slang.
He is going to say, the Jackie does what the Jackie does. And he knows it's very offensive, but no one else does.
Shrugging that off. I'm trying to look cool.
Melania's just gonna look at Morgan. I think we got most of the information we needed.
Yeah, I'm good for today.
If you are turning to leave, she's going to say, if you find any sick and need of aid, remember the Gaiori are here to help. Feel free to send them by.
I'm gonna wait until after we walk out and everything, like get some distance, and then it's like, so when are we gonna hit them? Like, should I prepare the burning torches?
I'll just give kind of like a yeah wave as to her response.
Nyoka is actually going to show a bit of restraint.
I really don't like them, but like I'm good at basically being a robot and not responding. But I want to kill them.
Oh, by the way, when Nyoka was inspecting, the goods, going in the back room and everything, he saw chalk, lots of chalk.
Chalk.
What's chalk used for?
Healing?
Usually rituals.
Yeah, you don't heal with chalk.
Chalk, so. That's obviously what they're doing.
Nyoka is going to look at Morgan and say, the spirits don't need to tell me, but they give me a bad vibe.
No, they're all hideous.
XJ is like, I think we got the supplies. I think we can make some alchemist fire. I think we can, want to hit this place tonight, or...
No.
I have a fight in the morning. And besides, we might be able to round up some help. Who knows? Or we do it ourselves.
By the way, Nyoka. What the hell was that statement you said?
the Jackie does as the jockey does.
Yeah.
Translation.
I just want Morgan to look over at Milani, just deadpan. The Jackie does what the Jackie does, and then keep walking.
And Nyoka's gonna look at it and nod his head and say, yeah.
Alright, we're gonna end on that note so, we don't keep Jackal up any longer. Let's do experience for tonight, and then they'll
Hey, look, guys, we finally found a group that's not good that hates us.
They don't hate you guys. The guy already is perfectly fine with you. They're just like, stay out of our business.
Well, I mean, we already have like
They will!
they're gonna hit us.
When we kill him,
Yeah, no, that's not gonna last long, Brandon.
see, and we don't have to worry about
The guy on our shit list, all right?
we don't have to worry about burning it down because Chet's dead.
I mean, like, do we want to burn it down? Again, like, alchemist fire's a thing. We got plenty of oil.
It's all about burning it down.
I planned a political thriller in the future for you guys with the Gaiori. But you guys are one, and I'll tell you this because, like, you guys did really well tonight. You guys are one step off from, like, solving. You are missing one tiny bit of information.
What the hell's going on with this?
Yeah. But,
the Gaiori's the ones that are causing the blight. I already know this.
They're trying to cleanse the blight.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's
trick.
like the Gagari as a whole. I think it's a
The blight on us.
I don't think it's
causing,
over.
so they could come in under the guise of being whatever the hell they are. Because I want to say nice people, but they apparently openly call the dead or call the sick, and they killed Chat. They give me endless shit for because that's what his plan.
Let's remember, there is one question that we asked them that they refused to answer.
What happened to Chat?
No, they told us what happened to Chat. What did they do with the body?
What, Chat's body?
No, the dude on the beach.
They got super defensive about his body.
Yeah.
Oh, what I should have had you do, but I didn't know a good way to signal it, is I wanted you to define sense spoiler.
He's out of divine senses for the day.
Yeah.
We used it in our search for.
God damn it! It'd be really good. That would have come in really handy. What if they're hiding corpses that are alive?
So,
Are you saying that they're hiding some skeletons in their closets?
Yes.
like, Nyoka isn't stupid, right?
You sure?
Like, no. So, he did that on purpose, right? He's like, I look like a backwater stupid idiot, so I'm just gonna ignore people and I'm gonna walk in the back room and see what's there.
Oh, you know what would be great right now? A rogue that could actually, like, sneak around.
The Gaiori have nothing to hide.
Except everything.
Yeah.
The Gagari has nothing to hide, except everything to hide.
I just kind of want to be like, hashtag not my Asatar.
Alright, so, experience for tonight, I'm going to say, 900, to everybody. For XJ, set yourself, 300 experience behind, Morgan. I went and, looked at the video and I had to do the math on it, for, like when you miss, and I don't remember where I put it, but it wasn't that much.
Alright. So, 300 behind what's Morgan?
I don't know. I just know Rob's pretty good about keeping up with his experience.
My experience is 10,460.
Is that including today, or?
No, it's 11,360.
I didn't hear what we got today.
900, wasn't it?
900, yeah, 900 for tonight.
Yeah, so that would be 11,360.
And then, yeah, so 1160 for, that.
So that's 2010.
And that doesn't include any inspiration, by the way. That I got inspiration at least once, so maybe minus 50 of that. I don't know if
I forget what the level up was.
1400. I just looked it up.
I think XJ.
Oh, we're. I was about to say we're really close. No, we're not. Never mind.
Well, we're a few sessions away, probably a few or four.
If we do something really epic, like kill an entire wheelhouse full of clerics,
XJ, I don't know. It's just like I've dealt with, well, like not zombies in particular, but I've dealt with basically swarmer type enemies in the past, and it doesn't end well. You're ill prepared.
I would just like to note that you're not wrong. Like, we should probably get silvered weapons or +1 weapons.
Oh no, like XJ's actually going to like put a stall on his project. I'm going to start making some silver weapons.
As a crafting standpoint, I believe the rules in Xanathar's Guide states that you need, like, I think it's a grand total of a quarter of whatever you have to buy it for. Because it's like, I think half of the sell price, which is half of the.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give you guys a reduction in, time spent, or in, price that you have to put towards it, since you have the raw materials for silver.
Like,
well, you don't have
raw materials, so it's basically just XJ melting it down and doing it properly.
You have enough for 2 silver daggers.
Daggers? I was thinking like a sword.
You've got 3 pounds of silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
No, we're just putting a silver coating on it, or are we also doing like some sort of holy ritual with it?
Well, that's actually weapon crafted amount of uses on it, and that would be like a temporary thing. But anyways, let's end this session off so I don't hold anyone. Your guys' next session is going to be on the 14th. Hopefully, I will be much better settled by then, and I will see everybody then. And I'm going to end the podcast. Yeah, everybody gets to look at my broadcaster now.